Okay, bye.
Is he seeing video?
He said no.
No video?
He said no.
Oh, he is. Okay. So I need to press record on my end, correct?
There you
No SD card when I press record. Are we recording right now?
You should be. And you can record that card.
Do you want to?
We have number 7, Andrew Kirk. Number 9, Michael Boone. Number 23, Jacob Buchanan. With his father, Alfonso Oliva, and sister, Charisma Oliva, and number 28, Colin Savant.
Yep.
Number 32, Daniel Sandoval. His mom, Yolanda Brown, and dad, Herb Anthony, stepfather, Philip Brown, and stepmother, George Anthony. Number 34, Herman Anthony. With his mother, Essence Dawson. Number 43, William Dawson.
In a sense, but
Number 54, Joey Madonna. Number 55, Carlos Fuentes. Number 76, Josue Gonzalez. Along with his mother, Jamila Hassan, father, Muhammad Ali Hassan, niece, Nabia, nephew, Isaiah, nephew, Zion, girlfriend, Jennifer, number 77, Muhammad. And number 44, Andrew Sola. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, your 2023 Southwestern College Jaguars sophomore.
Sorry, I just kind of like, no, this is literally from family friends. Oh, and her son knows I am.
We're for sure recording. We are.
Oh, yeah.
I'll leave the control.
Yeah.
So you're 1, 2,
Yep.
and then you'll probably just 1, 2.
Hey, Tim, nice meeting you.
No, he's not. But he's yeah.
If I see you, if I go across you, there's a
A little bit of,
okay, because it's still got a swing thing, but you're seeing us, you saw us okay. Perfect, and you can hear me. Okay, gotcha. Okay, sounds good. It's the meter won't lie, it's all good. Okay, sounds good. We're good to go all three of them. Okay, thanks, man. Okay, and we're live right now,
Hello and good evening to junior college football action here on the campus of DeVore Stadium. Here we're at DeVore Stadium on the campus of Southwestern College. A beautiful Saturday night evening here in Chula, Vista, California. I'm DeVore, joined by Scott Catlin. I won't be driving solo here tonight. Scott, you played here in the early '80s or late '80s, early '90s. You coached at Palomar. You have a good understanding of the junior college level. This is a big game when it comes to recruiting in the San Diego section.
Absolutely. First of all, thank you for having me. It's great to be here. The first thing coaches talk about in the area is winning San Diego and being kings of the county. So it's been a rough year for Southwestern. However, they end the season with Mesa, Palomar, and Grossmont. So if they can run the table, they'll look at that as a win because it gives them momentum into next season and helps immensely with recruiting.
Yeah, when you talk about recruiting, national anthem is starting. We'll take a quick break. With us here on the Cali Photo Sports Network, I'm Bo Ferdig alongside my partner Scott Catlin, bringing you today's game here on Saturday night junior college football action on the campus of Southwestern College. Olympians in the white bottoms, white tops, and Southwestern in the black bottom, black tops with the gold helmets. I love the old school look with the maroon trim for Southwestern.
Yeah, I like the black on black. They definitely have nice uniforms, but you guys are going to have to excuse me if I slip up once and call them the Apaches because I was an Apache. So I'll get back to my home field and it just might slip out once. So I'm going to go with Southwestern most of the night.
Scott played in this program late 80s, early 90s. What are some of your better memories from looking back and playing in those days?
Well, we had a lot of local guys. We had good skilled players. Most of us knew each other going into junior college, and that's why we kind of played together. A lot of fond memories here. My very last play of my last home game, we were up 5 playing Mesa. They threw. There's 6 seconds on the clock. They threw to my side of the field. I picked it off, ran it back for a 101-yard touchdown. So that was my last play of my last home game at Southwestern.
Ended on a high note.
Definitely ended on a high note.
Southwestern's going to start with the ball here today. It looks like they're going to bring it in at the 5-yard line. Special teams has been in trouble, but that's a big hole right there. Goes over the tackler and gets up to the 40-yard line. Nice start for Southwestern.
Yeah, and that's going to be imperative for them to start fast, to start well. The longer they stay in the game, the more competitive it's going to be.
Right, and obviously we want to see Southwestern win tonight, but playing competitively tonight is a big goal.
Yeah, well, they're obviously the underdog based on how the season's gone. But if they start the game well first series, you can throw the the records out the window because it is a rivalry game.
And carrying that momentum through the game, that's been their big fault the past few games, that they've just fallen behind so quickly where it's just tough to climb back. And a toss, it's nice to see them in somewhat of a goal line formation. It's a bit different than what we've seen in the past few games.
Yeah, they're going old school double wing.
And that's one of the things that I felt was troublesome for the offense, was they were putting all the weight on the shoulders of the freshman quarterback Alex Woschek, and it's tough to climb out of holes when you're down 21, 28, 3 or 4 scores. It's great to see that rushing attack getting going early.
Absolutely. They were having trouble staying on the field, so their drives were too short. The defense were playing too much.
Yeah.
So what this will allow them to do is take some time off the clock.
This is the first time we've seen this double wing formation all season long, which is great to see. And another toss right. Get tackled mid-line scrimmage. Let's get into our starters for the offense. Captain wearing number 14 behind snap, Alex Woschek. Running back Jay Gordon and Andrew Sola, they have him at fullback. He's going to be starting both ways today, the captain. Wide receivers Savion Robinson and Jovan Young, the bright spots on offense, along with Derek Patterson. Left tackle Quito Fierro, left guard Ricardo Fleck, center Fernando Reyes, right guard Carlos Fuentes out of Montgomery, right tackle Muhammad Hassan out of Monte Vista, and tight end out of modern day CJ Charles Nunez. Jay Gordon on 2 carries. This is a
play action. He's open for the corner. Too late.
Yeah, on 3rd and 5, Woschek goes down behind the line of scrimmage for the sack.
Yeah, that's tough. That is the pass play out of that formation, but I think they're going to have to put one more person into the route.
They only had 2. Looked like Robinson and Jovan Young. And a 3 and out for the Southwestern offense.
Well, not the start they were looking for, but let's see if the defense can hold up.
Line drive kick. Checks up at the 35, gets a nice Southwestern bounce. Picked up at the 10, some room to run, and gets up to the Southwestern 25. And that's where the Olympians will start their first offensive drive.
And the special teams coach is going to have a talk with number 13 there. He's going to tell them, catch that ball in the air, especially low-line drive punts.
Freshman out of West Hills, Jordan Young, saying 6 foot 185. And here comes the Olympians offense. They usually run a 2-quarterback system. It's been James Odom and Richie Colmenero, 2 local guys, Odom out of Grossmont and Colmenero out of St. Augustine. Have you followed Mesa at all? What's
yes,
your take on them?
Colmenero's, actually, I actually coached against Colmenero when he was in high school. Good decision making, good pocket passer, throws a good long ball. But this number 8 here, he actually is a little more mobile. So maybe they saw something. I've seen them both play, and truth be told, sometimes Southwestern has had difficulty with quarterbacks that can tuck it away.
Odom on the season, 42 carries for 97 yards. He's 3rd on the team in rushing attempts, and on the season in the air, 50% passer when completing the pass, and out here in the flats to his running back, Cater Diop. That's actually a wide receiver. And a gain of 8 brings up a 2nd and short. Odom on the season, 7 passing touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 850 yards up until this point. Starting in the backfield is Danny Davis, and we saw Cater Diop right there on the reception. Diop out of Minnesota. Single back formation. And the run off the right side, nice contact, but unable to wrap up as he gets through the tackle, and Danny Davis picks up enough for a first down.
Yeah, it looks like Southwestern's changed up a bit, even on their defense. They're typically a 2 high quarters team, and right now they're playing some 1 high, maybe load up the box a little bit more and try to be more stout against the run.
Defensive starters, left end Andrew Sola starting both ways. The 2 D tackles, Aldrich Arbach and Quito Fierro, who's starting both ways as well. Nate Rocio, the right defensive end, Daniel Sandoval, William Dawson, and Jacob Buchanan, the linebackers. And in the secondary, Demarion Smith, Andrew Kirk. Nice to see him back. Kalen Sablon and Adrian Granderson running their bright spots on the defensive side. Quick kick near side. Missed tackle in the open field, but knocked out of bounds. Way to rally by that Southwestern defense.
Yeah,
With his second reception.
and with guys going both ways, especially at the college level, how long the game is, that's probably another reason why Southwestern has chosen to take the approach they have on offense. Guys wear
It's
that.
unique to see, even at the JUCO level, especially at the D1 level, but at the JUCO level, it's unique to see them players go both ways.
It's rare. But I believe they're doing it out of necessity. If I'm correct,
They're fighting an injury.
yeah, I believe they've had 20 plus season-ending injuries, which is kind of unheard of.
Yeah. Looks like we have an illegal towel on the field as the white cap brought it over and dropped it on the Southwestern sideline. The run by Davis brings up a 3rd and 5 with 11:15 and counting here in the opening quarter. Looks like moving up front and free 5 yards for the Olympians. Olympians offensively averaging 283 yards on offense, 208 passing yards, and 75 rushing yards. And they're allowing 304 yards on the defensive side, so they're giving up points as well.
Yeah, that's kind of been their problem as well. Second half, they've had some issues. They've been having trouble maintaining leads and staying close in the second half. So both teams they're familiar with each other and have really scouted each other out.
And the Olympians will be knocked back 5 yards after a false start, saying the Jaguars were drawn off sides. Odom, the sophomore out of Grossmont, with Danny Davis in his right hip pocket. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right of Odom. 4 defensive linemen for Southwestern. And coaching staff of the Olympians not liking what they're seeing, so they're going to call the first timeout of the game with 10:46 remaining in the opening quarter here on the Cali Photo Sports Network. So 3rd and 8. We've seen multiple times this defense of Southwestern and 3rd and longs and give it up. Do you bring the pressure? Do you play back? What's the thought process right now?
Well, Southwestern does what they do. They don't really change up very much. The way they're lining up, they're actually covering all the gaps, and they're expecting. They're hoping that young man from my current school, number 34, Herman Lewis Anthony, makes the tackles. But on 3rd and 8 with a mobile quarterback, I think it's better to try to keep him in the pocket and play the percentages.
And Herman Anthony Lewis is and has been throughout the season one of their leading tacklers.
So to answer your question, pre-snap, they've gone back to what they traditionally do, and they're keep playing it safe. If pressure comes, it's probably going to come off the right edge.
And it looks like Southwestern is just going to bring 4 on a 3rd and 9. Odom looks over the middle. Nothing there but an open middle. No linebackers. Odom gets in Southwestern territory, makes a couple guys miss. Crosses the 30, has blockers in front inside the 20. And a big play by Odom, and you mentioned the legs right there from the quarterback.
Yeah, when you're playing a running quarterback, you have to account for the quarterback. And if you don't, you're going to run it. Things like that happen. And he actually missed. He had a wide open under route that he could have thrown to number 7, but he decided to take it and run, and you see the result of that. But we do have a penalty at the end.
That was a 47-yard gain by Odom.
Defense, number 7. Half inch to the goal, first down.
So holding on the defense. And that was Odom's longest run of the season. It was previous to that run, it was 26, and that run of 47 gets them inside the 10 with the holding call. That's one of the things that Alex Wojcik started doing a little bit better last week, was using his legs a little bit more to open up the passing game and to make the defense respect the run a little bit more. As you can see right there, when you add that dual threat to the defense, you really have to make them choose. And Southwestern dropped back and unfortunately got beat on the run. Davis is single back. They're going to go one-on-one over the top, far side, and that's an easy touchdown for the Olympians.
Yeah, excellent throw. Cornerback lost at the line of scrimmage, and the quarterback just dropped it in the bucket.
That pass and reception to AJ Gonzake, the freshman, his second receiving touchdown on the season, and James Odom, his 8th passing touchdown on the season. And on the opening drive, Mesa drives down. After that big third down conversion, it seems like even in the past few weeks, first and second down have been big. Southwestern has done a great job in getting that third and long, but they just can't seem to get off the field.
Yeah, at every level, high school even, but especially college and the pros, you make your money on third down. You try to get a team on third and 5 or longer, and if you do, you should be able to get off the field most of the time.
With 10:01 remaining here in the opening quarter, the Olympians out to an early lead, 7-0 over Southwestern. And this is where the snowball effect happens. Southwestern plays okay to open the game, and one thing turns into another, and they just can't seem to get out their way. So it's just finding some type of momentum, and because of the offensive struggle the past few games, it's the special teams that would seemingly be just more willing to make big plays.
Yeah, well, you have to find a spark somewhere, and so it's going to be really interesting to see body language. We're only 5 minutes into the game, so they still look like they're into it. They still look like they're fighting. They got a good return on the opening kickoff. Maybe they can do the same or better on this one.
Kick will go through the end zone, and second possession for Southwestern will start at the 25. So, are you surprised to see the double wing offense for Southwestern?
Yeah. Well, yes and no. I'm surprised.
You understand it.
I'm surprised they're in that actual formation, but I'm not surprised they're slowing it down.
Okay. Right.
So
because there's a lot of different formations you can come out in a running formation.
Yeah, they can run single wing, they can run 2 backs, they can run 12 personnel and take the clock down and have a little bit more options of what to do. So this is simpler for them, but it's also more limited. So they're going to be blocking down and kicking out.
And Jay Gordon with a 4-yard run. And we haven't seen Wojcik under snap throughout the season. He's mostly been in shotgun, which is a bit different for a quarterback as well.
Yeah, that's definitely an adjustment. I don't know what he did in high school, but
he was out of shotgun.
Yeah, 90%, 95+% guys are used to being in shotgun now.
Southwestern saying this double wing formation, 2nd and 6. Gordon has 3 attempts on the night for 12 yards. This one up the middle, Sola, and that's not going to go anywhere as he runs into a wall at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're going to have to do quick hitting plays, block down, kick out, try to get a lane, and then on occasion hope they over pursue and run some counters and maybe some boots for play action.
Defensive back Tyson Shields first to the ball. It's a passing down. They're going to give him a gain of 1, bringing up a 3rd and 5. But this is the third and manageables you like to see. Most likely they're going to pass the ball, but still in the back of the mind of the defense, they can still possibly run it.
True. The whole playbook is open here, even for this formation.
And this is the formation they've come out. This is another toss right to Jay Gordon, and Gordon gets 1. So 3 plays, 3 runs, 6 yards gained.
Yeah, they're going to have to get a little more movement if they're going to do this. And that's the one thing in Mesa typically is pretty stout in the front 4.
And the punt team comes on for Southwestern. Still a lot of time left. You don't want to go for it on 4th down here and give up great field position to the Olympians.
Yeah, definitely can't go for it here.
Back to return for the Olympians. Jordan Young. He's standing near the Mesa 35-yard line.
Having personnel problems right now.
And the punter, Fabian Lopez, on the kick.
Looks like the play clock is.
Lopez, another line drive kick to Young. Checks up at the 33. And 31-yard line is where the Olympians will start their second offensive possession.
Yeah, I ran back punts my whole career, and it's cardinal rule. If you can catch the ball in the air,
you know what?
Go ahead and fair catch it and save the yardage.
Me the most last week too, the fact that the offense is struggling, and the backs on kickoff were just letting the ball check up at the goal line. You got to be aggressive in those situations,
and you have
get
to
limited
understand
opportunities.
situations too.
Yeah,
situational awareness, situational football. But a lot of these return men are starting to get lazy as well and letting the ball bounce, and it often ends in your drive starting 10 to 15 yards deeper than it would have.
Odom back onto the field after throwing his 8th passing touchdown on the season. 7:09 remaining in the opening quarter. Danny Davis is single back. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right of Odom. Looks like Southwestern might bring pressure off the edge. They do. Hand off to Davis off the left side, away from the blitz. And he'll pick up a short gain.
Yeah, if he's gonna do that, he's gonna have to. They're gonna see that he's gonna have to time it better, and he probably needs to adjust his angle a little bit.
Well, that's one of those things, coming off the edge, you can't come too flat because the quarterback will keep and get around you.
Yeah, and if you're too tight to the line of scrimmage, you end up your angle's messed up and you run yourself out of the play. You can't chase it down anyhow. And then if you go up the field and they just run underneath you.
Split back formation out of shotgun. 2 receivers to the wide side of the field of Odom. Running back in motion. They're going to do a quick hit near side. And that ball's alive. Smart play right there by the running back in scooping that one up. No whistles were blown, so that was a live ball.
Yeah, we tell everyone when you're throwing the screen, regardless, pick it up till you hear that whistle.
That was Jonathan Littlejohn out of Orange Glen High School. That backwards pass, loss of 7.
You got him in 3rd and long again. Can they get off the field? They might be bringing pressure here. It looks like they're going to play
empty
play
backfield.
Man.
You would think that they'd bring pressure. Looks like man-to-man formation across the board. They drop back, only rush 3. Odom rushes and throws it over the top to a wide open receiver. He stays in bounds, and he scores for another Mesa touchdown.
Flag down on the field. Let's see what that is. The flag in the backfield.
And it's in the backfield. It looks like they're going to bring him back. Or unless it was a roughing the passer call. Well, it looks like they're going to be coming back.
Yeah, White Hat hasn't moved down the field, so I believe they're going to bring him back. Oh, no, disaster. So once we had him in 3rd and long and gave up a long touchdown. That's what you can't do.
Especially after you rush 3, right? It's
you
can't get beat deep.
Yeah, it's take away the big play. And that's not what they did. So it has to be frustrating, but hopefully the guys regroup and stay competitive.
Kader Diop with the long receiving touchdown. His team leading 6th touchdown on the season.
Great throw, by the way.
Yeah, right on the money. Hit him in stride. It helps when you're when the opposition's only bringing 3, not a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and it looked like the young man that was covering him was a little had a little limp and
Yeah,
his hitch in his giddy up. He might have hurt his leg or
He didn't
something.
get out of his back pedal. He stayed.
Yeah, and then he looked like he couldn't get to full speed, like maybe he had dealing with some type of injury. But again, can't let that happen. And that's kind of been the bugaboo all season.
2 possessions for the Olympians offense results in 2 scores and 2 big third down conversions.
Yeah, and here the beauty and also the problem is a catch-22 with college football being 12 minutes longer, essentially 5 quarters of high school football, is when you get behind, you can fight back and get back in the game. But if you get behind and you let up, you're in for a rough night.
We've seen that the last few weeks. The roughing the passer call will bring the Olympians to midfield on the kickoff.
Yeah, and some teams choose to just kick it through the uprights, and others choose to squib it or pooch it and try to recover it. So I'm interested to see how Mesa plays this, especially with the momentum they have right now. What would you do, Bo?
Yeah, because of the offensive struggles for Southwestern, I wouldn't give special teams any chance, especially because they had a really good opening kickoff return. I would just boot this one through, let your defense play, and do what it does best. And the Olympians kick it through the end zone, and they're going to bring their defense back on the field. And they played well up until this point. You know, you haven't seen anything from the Jaguars' offense, so.
Yeah, Mesa's kind of doing what they do. They're a well-coached team. I know that staff well, and their head coach is a stickler for details, a real good guy, and he surrounds himself with a good staff, and they know what they're doing over there.
And Southwestern brings their first wide receiver wide, but they're going to run right off the edge. Running back is hit at the line of scrimmage and drags his defender forward for a short gain of 4. That was Jay Gordon again, who's leading the attack on the offensive side.
Yeah, and so far Southwestern has been really right-handed on offense.
That's actually a good point. Every run has gone to the right side. The right side by Carlos Fuentes and Muhammad Hassan up front.
It's going behind the big man. That is a very big man, by the way. I believe he's 42 years old. Came back to play junior college football.
Yeah, it's a great story.
You know, they changed it up a little bit. See, so if they're going to run this offense and they're not used to running this offense, there's timing issues for the offense as well. So these plays got to hit a little bit quicker to have a little more flow to them and maybe catch somebody out of their gap.
Yeah, and you got to mix it up with the toss and the dive, and that's what they're doing right now on first and second down.
Yeah, and a couple play action, just even pop passes, just to slow them down a tad and to help your linemen out until you get a rhythm. Because this is a new offense for them, so they only practice this against themselves and scout team, and so they haven't done this at full speed. Game speed is a lot faster, especially against a good defense.
Third offensive possession for Southwestern, looking for their first down, and Andrew Sola will bull his way through for Southwestern first down.
There you go. I think maybe they found something. The last 2 have been to the left side as well.
Gain of 4 by Sola, who's going both ways, and he'll come out and take a breather. Under the 4-minute mark here in the opening quarter. Andrew Sola, one of their leaders on the defensive side. Be interested to see how long he can go.
Yeah, in an ideal situation, Southwestern would take the rest of the quarter, maybe a couple minutes into the second quarter, and get a touchdown here, and they'd be right back in the game.
With some momentum.
With momentum. Momentum is big, especially in college football.
Running back in motion. Run off the left side and taken out at the legs. A nice open field tackle by number 12.
Yeah, that was just a good defensive play there.
Aaron Swain, the defensive back out of Tacoma, Washington. Love to see that tackle as a defensive guy, huh?
Oh, yeah. everybody did their responsibility and come up, make a good, solid tackle. When you tackle someone, like I always tell my guys, once you tackle them, they should not gain another inch.
Yeah. Well, when you talk about responsibility, what you're saying is the gaps were closed on the interior, so the running back had to bounce it to the outside.
Exactly. And then the people at the second level are pursuing at the right angles.
Yeah. Stamps in the backfield. Behind Wojciech. Run right. And hit behind the line of scrimmage for a tackle for loss.
So a subtle adjustment Mesa has made is Mesa typically plays a 4-man front with 1s and 3s at the defensive tackles, but they just, at least on that last play, they've switched and have a nose and playing an odd front, which is, me personally, I prefer against this offense.
So that was a quick adjustment because obviously Coach Watkins hasn't seen this offense from Southwestern, so that's an in-game adjustment.
Yeah, I can guarantee you they saw that and went, huh? Literally. That's what happened, and then they got together and they say, okay, how are we gonna play this?
The tackle for loss.
So see how now they're back to 1 and 3, but he's more shaded, so he's almost over the center still.
And the ball's loose.
Oh, that's a fumble.
No whistle is blown.
No whistle.
And we finally get a whistle.
Yeah, that turned into a rugby scrum.
That was interesting. The defensive lineman threw the ball up in the air with his hand like, hey, I got it.
Yeah, still no call on the field.
Interesting play call on a 3rd and 9 with a dive up the middle. But a hard run by the back. Sometimes when you try to do too much.
Yeah, often when you're twisting and turning, that's when the ball pops out. But you can't blame them for the effort.
No.
It's still no call. Got Coach Watkins over there pleading his case. But he's pleading it to someone not in the conversation.
Yeah, this would be great field position in the first turnover of the game.
Oh. They need to stop here.
And the offense of Mesa back onto the field in plus territory.
Yeah, that's too bad. They finally found some openings and had a little momentum going, and disaster happened. So let's see. Defense has to make a stand here. You don't want to go down 3 scores.
1:30 remaining in the opening quarter. Southwestern's done a decent job of slowing down the run other than that one big run from Odom. They're giving up that big pass on a 3rd and long. Danny Davis back in as the single back. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Odom play fakes, looks over the middle, steps up
Takes a
in
shot
the pocket,
play. Oh.
has a receiver wide open downfield inside the 5, and he'll fall in for a Mesa touchdown.
Excellent throw, by the way.
Another beautiful throw by Odom. And the last 2 throws right on the money for his 10th passing touchdown on the season.
Yeah, so again, Southwestern's typically a 2 high quarters team, and they've been playing with 1 high. And if you're going to play 1 high and play outside leverage, say the corners have to squeeze that post, and the safety has to be deep. So safety was too shallow. Receiver got even with the corner, got the inside leverage, and quarterback made a great throw.
If he's even, he's leaving, and now Mesa up 3 scores. Still here in the opening quarter. And just that one misstep by that safety, right? You can't let anyone get behind you.
Yeah, well, if you're a corner, if you're going to play outside leverage, you have to stay 1 ahead and 1 in front, which essentially means you need to run the route for the receiver, and you need to squeeze it down. So you want the post to have to go to the upright instead of up the seam, but it's not going to help if you're playing with the 1 high safety and the safety's not deep enough to get involved in the throw. And of course, they're not getting enough pressure, so it's a double whammy. And then you got a very accurate quarterback, throwing to a big, fast receiver, and that's what happens, especially at this level.
Yeah, those are two beautiful balls. Two beautiful deep balls for that fact from Odom. And hit both of those receivers in stride. 40-plus yards downfield. The returner crosses the 25. Looks like he'll be tackled at the 29, and Southwestern back onto the field. With 1:12 remaining here in the opening quarter.
Really important for them to sustain a drive here. I know I'm stating the obvious, but it's really important for them to sustain a drive here.
For so many reasons, right? The defense.
Yeah, I mean,
not that they've been on the field a long time, but they.
But just from a morale standpoint, in staying focused and staying in the game.
Because it's going to pick up the defense mentality.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a 3-score game. You're only comfortable as the team ahead while you're up by 3 scores. So once you get back to 2 scores, anything can happen. So what they need to do is just sustain a drive, don't panic, and get some points on the board.
Run off the right side and the tackle for a loss. Mesa is crowding that line of scrimmage, and they're daring Southwestern to run the ball and doing a great job up front.
Yeah, that was a good job by the DN. So what Southwestern going to have to do is they're going to have the quarterback pull that sometimes, or they're going to have to run some play action out of that.
The edge rusher, Cameron Sanderlin, the freshman out of Grossmont, with the 4-yard tackle for loss, bringing up a 2nd and 14.
Yeah, I'm actually fairly impressed by Mesa's discipline on defense so far. Good responsibility football.
We haven't seen a lot of misdirection here today from Southwestern.
Ball's on the ground.
Ball's loose on the ground. Fortunately, Southwestern came up with it. But this is a formation that you do tend to see a lot of misdirection.
Yeah, I was just about to say, that and mishandled handoffs is also the bugaboo when you're not used to doing this.
Right.
Because it happens so fast and you're thinking about so many things, and the quarterback's used to handing the ball off in front of him because of the shotgun.
Yeah.
So now he's turning his back. But if they're running this offense, they have to have some counters. They have to have some a reverse. They have to have some play action.
Just to keep the defense.
Yeah, especially a defense who's sound and flies to the ball. So you want to get them. You want to get them thinking this is coming, and go the other direction.
Now in first quarter action, it's been all Mesa here. James Odom with 3 passing touchdowns to start the night, and the Olympians up 21-0 here on the Cali Photo Sports Network. You know, Scott, it's tough for a team that's been in this position the past few weeks because they're mentally like, oh, here we go again.
Yeah, the viewers may not know, I coach at Mount Miguel High School, and we took over a team that hadn't had a winning record in over a decade. So that was the biggest thing we had to overcome was the oh, here we go again mentality. So the way this applies here is every time this happens, it's more likely to continue to happen. So they need to find a way to get some momentum, some confidence that they can carry from play to play, series to series, quarter to quarter, game to game. And that should be the goal from here on out. It should be these 3 quarters in the next 2 games.
Alex Woschek, first time in shotgun formation, 3 receivers to his left. He's going to roll that way, try to get outside the pocket, but is chased down and brought down behind the backfield.
Yeah, they brought the house there.
Yeah, they brought 6 right there.
Yeah, so they're going to have to get the ball out quick, but it was 3rd and long, and Mesa decided that we're not going to give you time for your receivers to get downfield far enough to complete this, so we're just going to bring pressure and make you either throw the ball quickly or take the sack.
And Christian Aguilar on the sack. That was another situation where Woschek had his back turned towards the line of scrimmage and just didn't see the blitz coming.
Yeah, so exactly. So once he did that, he wasn't going to have a chance. They just brought more than they could block. Yeah, that was close.
Brought in at the 40, and he has a lot of space near side.
It's trouble.
One guy to beat. Inside the 10, 5, touchdown Mesa. Jordan Young with the 40-yard kickoff return for the Olympians.
Excellent return, but the irony of that, if he would have caught it in the air, it would have been even easier for him to do that return. So that's just disastrous because the body language right now is not good. So they're gonna have to, whoever the leaders are of this group is gonna have to get the guys together and say, hey man, we gotta play, we gotta battle. You know, have some pride about yourself.
3 passing touchdowns for Odom and a special team score for the Olympians has them up 27-0 with 14 minutes still remaining here in the first half.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. As we were talking about, it was Southwestern that need to have a big special team play and prevent Mesa from having big plays. So the keys to the game right now are all in Mesa's favor.
And Ryan Harris, 4 for 4 on extra point opportunities. And it's been all Olympians here tonight. You know, you talk about recruiting, and when you're just not competitive, it's so tough, right?
Yeah, you have to at least be competitive. At least look like, you know, you want to be out there, that you're battling, you're fighting, you have a plan of attack. And here at Southwestern, this is not a difficult place to recruit to. I mean, it's a beautiful campus, beautiful stadium, beautiful area of town.
They play on campus, which you can't say for Palomar.
Oh yeah, well, Palomar's been playing. For example, has been playing at Escondido High. They're finally getting a field built, a stadium built on campus. Mesa's field is, you know, okay. Grossmont field is probably the worst, and Southwestern has the best facilities here. So, you know, they need to start by keeping guys home in the area, and then getting a few North County players, and then a few from out of state. But junior college, it's community college for a reason. You have to build your team from your community.
And we saw on that last offensive possession, Southwestern returning, gets up to the 30. You know, Christian Aguilar, who's from Eastlake, you would expect a guy like that to stay local here in the South Bay, but he went to Mesa.
Yeah, exactly. And I think one of the Estradas, Nico is actually at Mesa as well. So little by little, Mesa has been pulling more of the guys who normally would come to Southwestern over to Mesa. So that's what Southwestern is battling right now, and they really have to start flipping it, or it's gonna snowball.
And for getting recruits outside of the state, you know, you think of San Diego and the living costs. Like, is it the preach of the weather and the stadium and the facilities?
That and the level of college football you're playing and who you're going to be playing against. Because college football in Southern California, I mean, you play Riverside, you play Fullerton, you play Mount Sac. You can get film, and junior college should be used to develop your skills, get your grades in order, and get to the next level. So if you want to play junior college football, yes, these are the conferences to be in. But again, you want to be competitive, but you don't want to have a gazillion guys from out of area.
Right.
Once again, it's community college. Build from your area and pick and choose and get a few guys from out of area that fit specific needs.
As Harleton stamps on the last run, gain of 4. Brings up a 2nd and 6. Once again, the double wing formation with a single side receiver to the left.
Okay, there you
Alex
go.
Wilczek will keep, has a running back in the flats. He's going to keep it himself with blockers in front, and a nice looking run from the freshman quarterback.
All right, that's what I've been calling for a while.
Misdirection right there.
Little misdirection. I actually think he was going to dump it off, but the fullback never turned to look for the ball, so he did the right thing and tucked it away, and they got a good positive play. So they need to build off of that and just keep moving down the field.
Well, you talked about captains getting into the faces of his teammates, and Alex Wilczek is one of those guys that is a captain. freshman quarterback that was almost like, you know what, I'm going to take this one on my own to get this big game.
Well, if anybody that's watched him play prior, he's a tough kid. I mean, even when they're down, he's battling, he's struggling for more yards, he's looking down the field, he's trying to make plays. So you need a few guys like that, and he looks like he's emerging as the team leader, so they need to follow his lead.
Savion Robinson, the single side receiver near side, and they're just going to run a quick dive off the left side.
Yeah, they've definitely had more success to the left. So you see how the end reduced down, they just blocked down, sealed him, and they led through the hole, and they, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. But if you do 3 yards in a cloud of dust, when you get to 4th down, it's 4th and 1, and you can keep moving the chains.
And you saw right there, Mesa was actually favoring that far side of the field.
Right. So now Mesa's trying to make an adjustment, and they're like, we're not going to let you run to the right. But in my opinion, Southwestern is better off running to the left anyhow.
Southwestern now at midfield yet to get into Olympian territory.
And they're back even on defense.
Toss left. And Southwestern, first time tonight into Mesa territory. Carlton Stamps on the run.
Yeah, so the
nice
Lyman got around. If he just needs to come down a hill a little bit faster, but they did seal the edge, and that's why they had a positive play. So again, that's what they need to do. Just keep chugging along and moving the chains.
Stay patient, right? You're not going to get 4 scores back in one play.
Yeah, and you want to keep Mesa's offense off the field, and you want to wear their defense down a little bit. So it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Plenty of time left in the game.
10:40 and counting. 3rd and 4 for the Jaguars. Run to the right, nice hole, breaks for the tackle, gets by the safety, and is brought down inside the 30. Big run for Southwestern, their biggest of the night.
There you go. So they double pulled, hit the hole fast, and get a positive play.
Carlton Stamps.
So I actually think that Southwestern's getting a little more comfortable now that they're a quarter in running this offense. And it looks like Coach Goodwin is opening up the playbook a little bit, which is helping.
Scratch that. That was Jay Gordon on the run. Hard run by Gordon. Coming up on the 10-minute mark. He had a couple big games earlier in the season, then injury bug hit him, and he's back and looks to be healthy. Dive up the middle.
All right, see, there you go. See, so now that they have a little momentum, they're getting off the ball faster, and all you need is a crease for this play. Hit C-gap, downhill in the alley, and just keep running.
And those edges had to get upfield because they had already seen that toss play a few times.
Yeah, so now they're getting them. They're not. Earlier in the game, I was talking about how disciplined Mesa was. But now they're starting to guess at what plays that Southwestern's running. And Southwestern's doing the things a little more quickly and efficiently, and they're getting this with this offense. They only need a little crease to pop through
because they're running downhill.
Yeah, they're just trying to seal or kick out or get somebody out of their gap and just hit it fast.
Mesa didn't have enough players on the field, so they're going to call a timeout. Their second charge timeout of the first half. 9:22 remaining in the first half. It's been all Mesa, but finally a breath of fresh air from this Southwestern offense.
Absolutely, and that's all it takes to gain some momentum. But they have to finish it off with a touchdown here.
Yeah, we've seen that multiple times, including last week where they got to this. Actually, I don't think they ever got inside the 10 last week.
No. So this is a sustained drive. This is what you want to see. This is what you would have hoped going into the game that they were hoping they could do.
Yeah.
But now they're finally doing it, so they need to stick with it. But keep mixing it up. Don't get predictable, and just finish off the drive. And then you get momentum's a strange thing. Sometimes you get it, and you keep it. I mean, a lot of people saw Colorado and Stanford. Colorado lost a 29-point lead at home in one half. So, anything's possible. You just got to keep chugging away.
Sola, the single back in the backfield. Double wing formation. Gordon in motion. Sola's going to get it.
Oh, they're going to get it. False start.
There was a hole for Sola there.
Yeah, and that was actually a good play call to the weak side, to the left, and he had a crease. He might have scored on that play, but unfortunately, they false started.
So was the false start called because he was moving towards the line of scrimmage before the snap?
Yeah, it looked like he started thinking he was in Canada or playing arena football or indoor football. Started headed forward, which you can't do.
Well, that's a unique situation for Jay Gordon, right? The tailback being the lead blocker.
Yeah, definitely. And in the motion, I haven't seen him do this motion like we're doing. So it's all new to guys, and you get excited, you get in the game. It's different than in practice.
That false start brings up a 1st and goal. Ball lies now at the 14 of the Olympians.
Yeah, can't panic here. You have 4 plays to get it in.
Yeah, definitely 4 down territory, down 4 scores. Unless you get another penalty that just takes you back too far.
Yeah, absolutely.
Patterson in the right wing. Gordon,
there we go.
play fake. Wojcik rolls left, one-on-one in the end zone.
It's a good play call. He got pressured, and he actually made a pretty good throw considering he had a man in his face.
Throw.
Yeah, he's rolling to his left.
Pressure
in his face, and that's actually he threw it to the back pylon where he's supposed to. It would have been a great play by the receiver, but you want to help your quarterback out, especially in this situation. And, of course, he popped right back up and is ready for the next play. Quarterback's a tough kid.
You mentioned his toughness earlier, and even at the high school level, average 9 yards per pop. He was the star player on his high school team, as most of these guys were here at the junior college level. But you talk about toughness and grit, and that's Alex Wojcik, and it's one of the reasons why he's the captain as a freshman.
Yeah, he's a quarterback, but he's just what I call a football player.
Savion Robinson, the single side receiver, run up the gut, and not much there.
Yeah, I don't know how that call helps you. Yeah, maybe they're trying to catch him doing something like shooting a gap, or because you're trying to score, and it's the distance here. You need to get more chunk plays.
Maybe knowing it is 4 down territory.
Yeah, but it's goal to goal, so it's a little far out. So that play is only designed to get you 3 to 4 yards, unless it hits and you catch him in the defense and it's crystal clear.
No receiver, double wing formation. The toss to Gordon. Wojcik is going to lead, and he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
They're going to get a penalty there for unnecessary roughness. So that saves them.
You don't like to see your quarterback as a lead blocker.
Yeah, they're going to get the guy who's crawling there for unnecessary roughness.
It looks like Southwestern is going to be given a gift. That would have.
Yeah, Coach Watkins is not going to be happy about that when you get a stop and you make that play.
Yeah, that would have been a 4th and goal from about the 15, outside the 10. And a restart for Southwestern here, a do-over with a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, they have to get a score here. He's going to definitely get an earful for that one. So you would have had him in 4th and goal. Now it's 1st and goal from the 7.5. I'd like to see some play action on 1st down here.
Robinson, the single side receiver to the far side of the field. He's one-on-one. The box is stacked with 10. And a tough run by Sola. He gets in for a Southwestern touchdown.
Yellow on the field, though.
Yeah, it looked like Gordon was moving forward towards the line of scrimmage once again as a lead blocker.
Yeah, they're going to call you illegal shift.
Yeah, and that's exactly. You got to learn from the one mistake. Well, they actually called that on the receiver.
Yeah, he might have reset.
So So a touchdown taken back from Southwestern. Now knock them back to the 13. First and goal. Just under 8 minutes remaining here. But at the very least, they're chewing off clock. Giving the defense some rest.
Yeah.
But they got to put this in. I mean, this.
Yeah, and I'd actually like them to try this corner up here with no safety help. He's on an island. We're going to stick with the run.
Gordon off the right side, has a lane, gets tripped up inside the 5.
Yeah, if he keeps his feet, he gets in there. Got a good cut block there. Oh, he ran into his lineman. Got a man down.
So you talked about Muhammad Hassan, the 42-year-old. What was the oldest player when you played?
There was one guy who was, I believe, 27 or 28. He had went to the military and came back and played. He was actually pretty good, too. He was 27, 28, so his prospects after that weren't great, but he wanted to come back and play. And he was a pretty good player, too. I believe he was like second team all-league.
Run from Gordon brings up a second and goal inside the 5.
Yeah, and that's the difference too. When I played, our team had guys from all over the county. We had a lot from, locally, South Bay, Sweetwater, Lincoln, Chula, Vista, Hilltop, those guys, but we also had some North County.
Yeah,
East County, Spring Valley.
When I look at the roster now, especially on the defense and offensive side, Mar Vista, Otay Ranch, Hilltop, Southwest, Montgomery. A few guys sprinkled in from Monte Vista, Mater Dei, South Bay team. A couple Lincoln guys, but those guys never really got a lot of play at the high school level.
Yeah, so again, you when I say you want to build your team locally, you want to build the whole San Diego County, not just the South Bay.
Right.
And what's happening now is the guys who live kind of in between, they're either going to Mesa or making the trek up to Palomar because less are going to both Grossmont and here now. So the 3 or 4 guys that are actual guys that will be starters or at depth that you lose is a big deal at the junior college level. So we have 2nd and 4. What you calling here, Bo?
Oh, we're running it. I think we got good movement up front. Andrew Sola had a touchdown taken back. That left side has been working for Southwestern. They're going to toss it to Gordon again off the right side.
That's like a face mask there. Uh-oh, somebody's down. Holding his knee, too. Uh-oh.
And first to the ball was Matt Nuanez, the sophomore out of Point Loma. That's the other thing about running this type of offense. There's a lot of guys on the ground.
Yeah, just the nature of the blocking down and kicking out, and people are falling into each other. And those are big human beings in there.
10 guys in the box doesn't help.
Yeah, and you often get hit from ways you're not used to getting hit as well.
And Manara's out there.
Oh, and that's the fullback.
That's Sola. Andrew Sola, a defensive starter that has led this defensive side, the captain.
Big loss for them. Hopefully, young man's all right.
That's one of the downfalls about going both ways. You just leave yourself more susceptible to getting injured. That's just the nature of the beast, unfortunately. Obviously, you can never play with, this player could possibly get injured. You can never play with that in mind.
Yeah, injuries are part of the game, but they just had an epidemic this season.
Yeah.
So they spread it out a little bit. Let's see what they do.
interesting to see them spread it out inside the 5. This is where you would normally see a double wing formation.
Yeah, it's kind of opposite, but maybe they're going to have the quarterback keep it.
And Mesa's man-to-man across the board.
So
They still have 8 in the box.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. They try to spread it out to give the quarterback space.
Yeah, and Mesa wasn't falling for it.
No, we've ascertained that just by what we've seen and what we know the guys are good at. They've ascertained that by watching every play of this entire season. So that wasn't going to surprise them, but I understand why they did that.
Yeah.
That call I'm actually okay with. Let's see what they do here, though, on 4th and goal.
Looks like they're going to bring on the field goal team partner.
You got to go for a touchdown here.
You got to. Down 4 scores.
Yeah, just numerically speaking, the 3 points don't help you in my opinion.
The last 2 offensive plays for the Olympians have gone for 50-plus yards.
Oh, my God. They're actually lucky he blew that big. He didn't have to blow that big. Yeah, so look, it dribbles back. And they're fortunate the white hat was on the other side because that, in my opinion, is a live ball. And that would have been
behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's a field goal. It's not a PAT.
Right.
So that would have been major disaster to have them go the other way, 90 for to make it 5-score game. Yeah, so just in my opinion, when you're down 4 scores, you have to go for touchdowns because getting it to 25 points, you're still down 4 scores.
Worst comes to worst, you get stopped at the 1 or 2. You know, the offense is backed up against their own goal line.
Yeah, and they still have to go the length of the field. So I'm a little perplexed by that.
You know, there is something to say for we just want to get points, but when you're down 4 scores, it's beyond that.
Yeah, I'm thinking more of a morale standpoint,
right.
And what do you, how do your players interpret that?
As in, the coaching staff doesn't have the confidence in your offense to put it in.
Yeah, like why? Can we at least try type of player? And I'm sure the quarterback wanted to go for it.
Danny Davis off the left side, crosses the 20. Scratch that. That's Taylon Tate, his first carry of the night. Tate leads the team with 223 rushing yards on the season, 5 rushing touchdowns, and a big first down on the first touch from Tate, a gain of 12. Odom still in the game, has 3 passing touchdowns up until this point, 5-10 and counting here in the second quarter. Wide receiver in motion. Southwestern in man-to-man defense. Had his receiver open downfield, just overthrew his intended receiver, Jordan Young, who had that big punt return for us.
And that's why you go for the touchdown, because Mesa's still attacking. This is college football. You're not going to get a running clock. Teams are going to try to score. If they can score 75, 80 on you, they will. Like Mesa's trying to build too. They want to be kings of the county. Even though I believe they're 4-3.
Correct.
They're still disappointed that they're 4-3. They believe they're better than that. So they're gonna try to score as many points as they can, and get themselves in line for a bowl game and tune it up for the end of the season.
Odom rolls right. Good defense right there on the flood route from the Olympians.
Yeah, young man got in the passing lane, made him have to throw the ball up, and that's why he wasn't able to
that was
complete.
a decision that Odom, he had the option of hitting the guys in the flat, and the linebacker didn't bite on the guy in the flat. He dropped back into that zone.
Right, and that's how you have to play a running quarterback. You have to expand, take away his medium range route or short route, and then come back to him. Make him a little more indecisive.
Yeah, rally towards the ball. Empty formation. Southwestern has 5 on the line. No flag thrown. Odom steps up in the pocket, has a receiver over the middle, and can't bring it in. Threw it behind the the intended receiver, Diop.
Yeah, but I'm sure Diop will tell you, I still should have caught that. You're a college wide receiver, you get your hands on the ball, you're supposed to bring it in, especially on 3rd and long.
It's definitely one of the tougher routes for a receiver, going one way, opening your hips.
Yeah, absolutely. However, the young man wants to go to the next level.
Right.
If he's trying to, hey, look at me, give me a scholarship, you got to bring those down. Especially when you have a running quarterback who probably, if he wanted to, could have tucked it away and ran for it. Because he's probably going to tell him, hey, man, I could have just ran for it. That's how those conversations go on the sideline.
That was a first 3rd down stop for the Jaguars here. This line drive kick will roll to the Jaguars 44. 4:34 remaining here in the first half, and Jaguars offense will come back onto the field.
Yeah, not to rehash it, but just an observation is, I'm surprised they didn't go for it on 4th down because now they're playing aggressive on defense. So are we going to play aggressive or are we not? So they're playing man. They're like, hey, they're challenging them. They're challenging their players. Let's do the same on both sides of the ball. So 4:34 left. Let's try to get a score here. Then it gets back to a 3-score game. Now it's actually a game again. Plenty of football left to play.
Got a penalty on the field. And it looks like a personal foul call. Move the Jaguars back to their own 29. Still 4:34, a lot of time remaining. The offense is still wide open. You don't need to necessarily rely on the pass. You still run the ball here.
Yeah, you still have your whole playbook. And actually, the way things are going, they should try to use the whole rest of the half and get a score here. Don't give Mesa the ball back. March down the field, get a score, no time on the clock, and go into halftime with momentum.
Once again, a defender in the backfield. Running back did a good job in getting by that one. Not getting tackled for a loss. Made something out of nothing.
Yeah, weak side in got good penetration and went to the mesh point and kind of disrupted the whole play.
That was Giovanni Barrios out of Chula Vista High School. Gain of 2 coming up on the 4-minute mark. But once again, you know, one or two guys in the backfield disrupting that play.
Yeah, when you're playing this type of offense, it's the type of penetration that you get. Like you can penetrate too far, one direction or too far up the field, and you're actually helping the offense. But if you have controlled penetration from one person and the rest of the D-line sets a new line of scrimmage, you can totally disrupt the offense.
Yeah, because that was the goal of that D-lineman, not allowing that running back to get to the outside, making him cut back upfield.
Exactly.
And first pass attempt to Jovan Young falls incomplete. Young has been one of the bright spots on the offensive side, and you would think with a guy of his skill with the ball in his hands, they would almost put him in one of those wing positions.
Yeah, and since Mesa's loading the box more and he's getting single coverage, that he would have multiple targets.
Just because of the zero coverage over the top. Literally, they have a man on the island guarding their receivers.
Yeah, it's me against you. Who's going to win? And I me personally, watching both teams, I like those odds better than just trying to run, especially running to the left side of Mesa's defense, which is stout.
Barrios off the right side, has a blocker in front of him, but the Olympians rally to the ball for a short gain.
Yeah, so they got the edge here, but the lineman stopped his momentum, and as I mentioned before, Mesa flows really good to their left. Better to their left than to the right, at least thus far in this game.
That was Jaden Cortell out of Eastlake. We're talking about another local guy.
Yeah, and I don't think that's a good, against this defense, that's not a good third and long play because it plays to their strengths. So you got to misdirection them, throw the ball, or play action and go back the other way.
And the punt team back on for Southwestern after a 3-and-out. And the line drive kick to Young. He's going to bring it in at the 34. Gets tripped up by his own player. And he had a lot of room on the outside. That's why he's upset.
He had a lot of running room, and the reason for that is, I don't know, maybe he can hear the telecast, is he caught the ball in the air on the line drive kick for the first time.
Well, he figured it out that the kicker wasn't getting a lot of hang time. So he scooted up a little bit more.
And so he saw the opening, and he just got tripped up by his teammate. Yeah, that's a pet peeve. Like, again, I ran back punts my whole life, and I typically have the return man. And it's like, if you can catch the ball in the air, do so. Square up, fair catch if you have to, but catch the ball.
Oblong shape of a football, and you know that ball could bounce in a variety of directions.
Yes, including into your shin, which is never good.
Double formation, more of a tight formation for the Olympians. First time we've seen this here today from the offense. Odom back onto the field.
Yeah, alignment is trouble at the top of the field, though, if they go vertical.
Odom will keep.
Play to safe here.
Near the line of scrimmage. Jacob Buchanan on the tackle. Coming up on the 2-minute mark here at DeVore Stadium in Chula Vista, California. Mesa 28, Southwestern 0.
So it wouldn't surprise me, since they're in the same formation here, if he doesn't pull it out and throw vertical.
That was almost a setup play for this play.
Yeah, corner route and or seam. Wouldn't surprise me at all. And there you go.
Man-to-man formation. They're going to go deep over the top. He has his receiver over the middle. That's Diop inside the 25, brings it in. Another beautiful ball from Odom to Diop.
Well, just as expected, they set him up for it. They had the outside leverage.
Odom has thrown some exceptionally impressive deep balls.
Yeah, those are dimes.
And Southwestern is charged with their second timeout with 1:47 remaining.
Crucial to keep them out here.
You saw right there, Southwestern tried to bring the pressure man-to-man, and we talked about that zero safety over the top. I mean, when you're giving up the boundary and everything over the middle, it's just so tough to guard.
Yeah, and it looks like because they're playing a little bit different than they normally play, it looks like guys are unsure about their technique and their leverage. So that one was pretty I saw that the play before because the corner was outside a little bit too far and the safety was inside a little bit too far. So it was going to be difficult to stop the vertical route up the seam. And that's exactly the play they ran the very next play.
Clock's at 1:47. Olympians with the ball at the Jaguars 20. Odom back onto the field. Davis the single back.
Mesa probably be in no hurry here.
Yeah, at this point, it most likely a run just to chew that clock down. Play fake over the top, one-on-one near side. And he brought it in. Touchdown, Mesa.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with this quarterback's ball placement.
He threw it in a spot where only the receiver can get it, and that's A.J. Gonzalez, the freshman out of La Jolla Country Day in Mission, Texas.
Yeah, so here the corner played inside leverage and immediately adjusted and ran a 9 right down the sideline. Quarterback put it in the right place, and it's hard to defend that.
And the Olympians offense said, we're not worried about chewing out clock. We're going to put this one in.
Yeah, they probably figured the way their defense is playing, heck, why not?
Ryan Harris now 5 of 5 on extra points. And Odom with his 4th passing touchdown of the night. Yeah, his deep balls have been impressive. As you mentioned, they've been right on the money.
Yeah, when it's tough at the college level. Like, this is college football, people.
The margin of error.
The margin for error is small.
Yeah.
Like, I tell my high school guys, like, that play, yeah, that might have worked for you now, but that's not going to work for you next year because the receivers are faster and the quarterbacks can all throw the ball 8 to 10 yards farther. So you need to learn how to do everything right. So when you get to this level, you're not still learning, you're perfecting your craft So you have a head start if you want to play when you get to the next level after junior college. And you typically can tell who played at what programs by what techniques they know, and for that matter, don't know.
When you talk about the better programs in the county, the South Bay teams are usually not at the top of the list.
Well, that didn't used to be the case.
Yeah.
So everyone needs to figure out why that is. Why two things. Why can't you get the kids on campus that can play, that are good, to come out and play? And why are student athletes going elsewhere to play? Because most of the campuses, I used to teach in the South Bay and go to all different schools. There's athletes on those campuses. And schools like Olympian, East Lake, and Otay Ranch are full.
Right.
There's a lot of
2,500, 3,000.
There's a lot of students to pick from. Most of them play youth football. Most of them play some sports.
They have feeder programs.
Yeah, so it's perplexing that they can't sustain some competitiveness and gradually improve.
1:40 on the clock, Southwestern. I mean, in situations where you're down 3 or 4 scores, 1:40 on the clock, you don't want to just go past pro because you're leaving yourself susceptible possibly to an interception giving the defense back the ball. But when you're down 5 scores, you need to push the ball downfield.
Yeah, you need to at least open it up, misdirection, run some mid-range, like maybe keep somebody else in to protect, run over-under combination, run some flood concepts, get your quarterback on the move so he's not a sitting duck in the pocket, but you don't want to just go into a shell. So even though they're lined up in this formation, I would throw the ball.
One-on-one coverage on the outside.
I would definitely throw the ball to number 1. That's where I was going.
Dive up the middle.
Yeah, and if they do that again, it looks like they'll, depending on how fast they get to the line and depending on the next play, we'll know if they're just going to go ahead and go to halftime.
Yeah, they're going to go in the huddle.
They're going to go huddle up.
Down 5 scores. I would love to see just a bit more sense of urgency.
Well, again, it's junior college, and the goal of junior college is to get your players to the next level. So let's get as many plays on film as we can. Okay.
And
there you go.
Middle stamps.
There you go.
Crosses the 40 and gets tracked down inside the 35.
Now you got to go fast here. And what I mean by fast is get on the line.
Well, get on the line. You're killing the
call
clock
your
right
play.
here. You're killing the clock. The clock stopped at 49.9. We should not be trying to get a play in. We should be killing the clock.
Yeah, we're taking too much time here.
The clock has yet to start.
Because the chains are lagging behind. Haven't got the chains set yet.
Thankfully for Southwestern. But that clock is now rolling, and they... See, in this situation, there's 4 down territory, so if you do kill the clock, you still have 3 downs.
Yeah, exactly.
To get a first down.
Yeah, I don't see the sense of urgency. It's kind of like if you're in a boxing match and you've been getting pounded, and you finally land a solid punch and you see your opponent wobble.
You gotta keep coming.
You got to keep going for it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're going to let them regroup and they're just going to go back to doing what they were doing.
Yeah, because on that play particularly, the defense is on their heels after that play.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the time when you can, if you want, you can get up, you can either down it, or you can go SOS and run the exact same play and see what happens. Then kill the clock afterwards.
Well, how about a little play action, because the defense just got gashed on the ground. The corner on the outside, I don't know if they saw it on the screen, but he's man-to-man inside leverage. Like, that's an easy inside move fade route.
Yeah, actually the whole route tree is available there because the guy's on the island and there's nobody to help him.
Right.
So if that's your number 1 receiver out there, then why aren't you giving your number 1 receiver at least the opportunity to make a play? It might be incomplete, you might get a pass interference call, you might score a touchdown. So at least they're in spread. Let's see what they do. But they do need to get the ball out quick because Mesa is not going to sit back.
Mesa is bringing 5 over the middle, has his receiver. Can he shake the tackle?
And there you go. Get the ball out quick, throw the ball to number 1.
Savion Robinson. Now you get up and clock stopped at 39 seconds. The clock will start.
Yeah, the clock shouldn't have started yet because they hadn't got the sticks lined up. But it did, so they need to go.
Woschek, they bring 6 up the seam, and that ball falls incomplete.
Yeah,
And that's another situation where you're rushing a freshman quarterback that just doesn't understand the system. If you kill the clock, you calm him down a little bit and allow him to find his groove.
Right, as well as his teammates, because if on that play it looked like they weren't in accord on what the actual route was supposed to be. They were definitely not in sync. Because he kind of threw a seam, and it looked like the corner wanted to run maybe a corner or like a fade out. So let's see what they dial up here.
24.6 seconds remaining in the first half.
So empty. Expect Mesa to bring some pressure.
And Mesa's playing man-to-man across the board. They bring 6. Woschek steps up, has some space, gets inside the 15, tries to get out of bounds. He does not. 14 on the clock. The clock is ticking now at 10. They need to get on the ball and run they need to snap it right here. 5, 4, 3. They get the snap off. Woschek throws it up. Ball in the end zone and intercepted by Mesa.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It was poor clock management. Receivers weren't really didn't look
on the same page.
Yeah, they didn't know. They weren't sure what they were doing, and the rush throw and the DB just made a good play.
Jaden Jackson on the interception will end the first half here at DeVore Stadium. It's all Mesa as the Olympians lead the Jaguars 35-0. We'll head into halftime break. Stay with us on Cali Photo Sports Network. Back with you, second half action here at DeVore Stadium on the campus of Southwestern College. Mesa 35, Southwestern 0. Mesa will start with the ball. It was James Odom, 4 passing touchdowns in that first half, and they also got a special teams touchdown. Not a lot of bright spots for Southwestern, but what did you take away from that first half, Scott?
Well, they need to look at this as like it's a 0-0 score, and we're trying to win this half. It's not a good start.
And the returner gets to the edge, crosses the 40, breaks a couple tackles, cuts back field, gets by another guy, is now in Southwestern territory. And a great return on special teams for the Olympians to start the second half.
Yeah, you could see that coming midway through the return that he was in the opening. Yeah, so to answer your question, Southwest, they need to look at this as 0-0. We're going to win this half. Mesa is actually told their players the same. So if Southwestern doesn't match the energy, it actually will get worse this half. So like we talked about pregame, Southwestern needs to finish out the season. They have 10 quarters to do so. It starts right now.
Southwestern will end the season against Palomar and Grossmont, both of those games on the road.
There are 2 players in the goal. Personal foul, number 81. Personal foul. Penalties offset. First down.
So the return will stand. Penalties offset on 2 personal foul calls, 1 on Southwestern, 1 on the Olympians. And Olympians will start their second half at the Southwestern 33.
I wonder what James Odom passer rating is at the moment.
158.3 is the best, right? I mean, the way he's dropping dimes downfield, he's been impressive all night. Play fake.
So right off the bat.
And his first bad pass of the night.
Yes.
Behind his intended receiver.
Yeah, you can look at him and tell that he's like, whoa, what was that? I do like the play call for Mesa. See, like I said, they're going to stay aggressive. They told them, let's go win the half. The way you look at a game is the way you play the second half sets the tone and the momentum for your next week.
Danny Davis, the single back. Actually, that's Tate. His second carry on the night gets brought down near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, solid defensive play there. Like to see that. And with the field position, no margin for error here, so good first down play. Second down, and so they got
We've been here before.
Exactly. I was just about to say that. Good play. First down, stop on second down, 3rd and long. Let's see what happens. Got to get off the field here. It's imperative.
3 down linemen for Southwestern.
Bringing pressure this time.
2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Tavian Tate, the single back.
Yeah, I would have liked them to do a little more scouting on Mesa, because Mesa gets to the line and does some dummy calls. If they're going to blitz, you can't really show your blitzes against them.
Delay game will knock the Olympians back 5 yards.
Third and very long here.
Keep everything in front. Looks like the Jags are only going to rush 3. Jags rush 3. Screen. That's Tate.
Oh, don't hit him late. Oh, no.
That was a soft hit, though.
Yeah, still well played.
You did your job.
You gotta let up.
Yeah.
It's that little lean forward is what got him. They did everything right. We're off the field, and then you made that mental error.
Personal foul, right here. 25 defense. 15-yard penalty for the run. First down.
Personal foul penalty brings up a 1st and 10 at the Southwestern 19.
Single coverage up at the top. And that's where he's going.
Far side over the top in the end zone. Does he bring it in? Yes, he does. Touchdown, Olympians.
See, beautiful ball. DB lost at the line. As soon as he backed up, kind of opened the door, and with the way quarterback's putting it in there on those big receivers, he was done.
That's the 5th passing touchdown for Odom, the 2nd receiving touchdown for A.J. Gonzakwe. And Mesa now up 41-0. Odom is playing exceptional tonight.
Oh, yeah,
he's the best quarterback play I've seen all season.
Yeah, actually, coming into the games I watched, I was impressed with his feet. And I actually thought that the other quarterback was more the pocket passer, Colmanero I'm speaking of. But he's really impressed me with his pocket presence and his ball placement. He's making the right decision, getting the ball out quick, and he is putting it right where it needs to be.
Yeah, because we even saw in that last play, corner had inside leverage. I mean, he was hip to hip with him, but he threw it where only the receiver could get it.
He threw it on the outside shoulder over the top, perfect placement.
James Odom, the product out of Grossmont, having himself a game tonight, 5 passing touchdowns.
Yeah, but in the way Mesa plays, I wouldn't be surprised if in a short time that they switch quarterbacks. Because they're trying to build a program. They do play both of them, and I'm pretty sure they're going to want multiple quarterbacks to get work. But if you have James Odom in your fantasy, you'd be real happy right now. There you go. You got to return if he hits it.
Southwestern brings the ball across the 30. And they'll start their first offensive possession here in the second half. Near the 32.
What did they come out in, Bo?
You know what? I would love to see the double wing and just throw one over the top. Whether it be a post, whether it be a fade, just something downfield.
Yeah,
no play fake, just a straight drop back, everyone fire block, everyone, and just have one guy.
Yeah, I'm with you. Just because it's double wing doesn't mean it has to be conservative.
No.
It may be limited, but it doesn't have to be conservative. But it looks like they're coming out in spread.
I would have just loved to see them attack downfield at least once. At that double wing formation. Now they're in spread and they're leaving.
They're empty.
Yeah.
So ball needs to come out quick because they are going to.
Free play? Oh, it's not going to be good for Wilshire.
Yeah, that's going to not end well physically regardless.
So when they see that empty set, Olympians, they're just bringing the pressure and playing man-to-man across the board.
Yeah, every single time. And so you got it. The ball has to come out quick. Got to run some quick slants, some fades, or maybe just a little under. But the ball definitely has to come out. They're bringing more than they can block, and the protection hasn't been holding up just in general.
So that offsides gets the ball in Olympians' territory. And they're going to stay in this empty set. 3 receivers to the right of Woshek, to the far side of the field. Olympians are going to bring 4. Woshek steps up in the pocket, has some room, crosses the 40, and dives forward near the 35 for a Southwestern first down.
See, and that was smart quarterback play. He read the defense, and because he only brought 4, those backers are vacating, opening up to their first threats, which gave him the opening.
Yeah, because there's only 4 rushing, that leaves some running lanes for the quarterback.
Yeah, if the D-line doesn't squeeze, it's a gaping hole up the middle.
Coming up on the 12-minute mark here in the third quarter. Southwestern still looking for that touchdown. Olympians It's going to bring 6.
There you got the slant.
Across the board. A slant over the middle, and that's a difficult route to cover.
Yeah, exactly. If the slot corner makes one mistake, he gets his face crossed, and that's what I was calling for a couple plays ago.
That's an easy pitch and catch.
Yeah,
DeVore Young, his first reception of the night.
Throws to the inside are actually the easiest for the quarterback because they're straight throws.
Yeah.
The farther you get away from the quarterback, his angles are more difficult and the percentages go down. So whenever you can cross somebody's face, that's what you want as an offensive.
2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right for Wojciech. Wojciech looks left, quick hit. And those corners on the outside are playing right up on the line. That's not going to be there tonight.
Yeah. Historically, Southwestern runs a lot of screens.
Yeah.
And Mesa's like, they play every year. We're not going to let you run your screen game. You're going to have to, your protection's going to have to hold up, and you're going to have to try to beat us downfield. And when they play, man, you see they're playing press man. They're really challenging the receivers here.
Wojciech looks left, has some space, gets inside the 15, dives forward inside the 10, and another big gain with Wojciech's legs.
Yeah, so somebody got away with the hold, but that's all right. They didn't call it, and it didn't happen. So the tackle got out of his lane, quarterback saw the crease, and just took off.
That's been the best play for Southwestern here, just spreading out the defense and letting Wojciech use his legs.
Absolutely. They need to mix that in, throw some quick passes and quick slants when they're in empty.
Carlton stamps the product out of Monte Vista into the game. To the end zone, Wojciech! Touchdown, Southwestern!
There you go. That's the approach to take. For the rest of the game, we need to see that. So that's a good ball by him. Very good ball. Cornerback was challenging. He put good ball placement. Receiver made a good catch, helped the quarterback out.
Savion Robinson receiving touchdown. That's the one thing about being up here in the booth. It wasn't really made for broadcasting. We got caught up behind the beam, but beautiful ball by Wojciech to Robinson, and first touchdown for Southwestern coming in the second half.
Yeah, and the makeup of Southwestern uniform makes it hard to read the numbers as well. Going for 2. I like the aggressiveness.
Wojciech rolls right. Wants to throw backfield, has his receiver.
Oh, good catch.
And brought in, 2-point conversion is good. DeVore Young running a whip route. Unconventional.
Yeah, definitely. You don't see that often, dangerous throw, but hey, it worked out, and he made a good throw, good catch. That's how they need to play it. Win this half.
That's a testament to his arm strength, right? There's definitely not a throw Wojciech cannot make.
Yeah, he's actually impressed me as a quarterback. It's just they need to build around him.
So as you mentioned, win this half. Southwestern up this half 8-7.
And that has to be the mentality the whole rest of the way. And as I mentioned earlier in the telecast, Mesa has faded sometimes in the second half.
Has that been their Achilles heel here in the second half of the season?
Yeah, in the games I watched, Saddleback specifically, Fullerton was a tight game. Fullerton was a really good team, but kind of pulled away at the end. Yeah. Which is why I'm sure Mesa's knowing Watkins that they're like, hey, we need to play a solid second half, no let-ups, keep playing, let's keep improving. Something I always tell the guys, we play each play, we don't play the score of the clock.
Onside kick.
Offside.
Ball's loose. The flag is down though. It looks like it's gonna.
I like it, but it looks like they're probably offsides.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Finally get some momentum and so frustrating.
Okay, so now they've adjusted to it.
We're kicking deep now.
Yeah, you either do that or you do the squib right behind the first line and let the ball keep rolling and make it the second line guys have to chase and make it a foot race if they choose to go that route. Otherwise, you got to kick it deep. But if they're going to kick it deep, don't kick it right to him, please.
It's another onside kick.
Yeah, but
see, I mean,
again,
that's such a low percentage play. You get it once and it's almost.
Yeah, so they did like a surprise onside at the first one.
Right.
But if you're going to do it a second time, I believe that it's better just to pooch it or kick it up the middle and make it kind of a scramble for the ball rather than doing the same repetitive thing that they're expecting.
And the Olympians now have their hands team on.
Absolutely, exactly. So you when you get a hands team out there, you mess up the return and you kick it deep to try to pin them back.
No blocking.
And or you pooch it over the front line and then try to recover it that way. Typically.
Odom back on the field, along with his running back, Danny Davis.
Go, Yaki!
Ball at the Southwestern 45. Odom over the middle to his tight end. First reception for number 87, Makai Elliott. Inside the Southwestern 40. Mesa going to get right back up on the line.
Yeah, tight end trips.
Run off the right side, Davis. Plants gets upfield near the first down marker.
Yeah, and they really, when they run tight end trips, they really like to run behind that tight end.
Davis needed 2, got 1. Brings up a 3rd and 1. Under 10 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Jordan Young checks in.
Third and short here. This is a good time for a shot play. Way off of the slot. Oh, there you go.
Actually, it might be Jordan Blondin out of Eastlake. They have 2 number 13s, both receivers. Jordan Blondin was an exceptional receiver at Eastlake.
Yeah, Mesa.
Or no, that is Jordan Young. Blondin is number 14.
It looked like Southwestern was worried about the shot play, but they played so far off that slot receiver, they just took the ball and threw it out to him.
Davis, the single back. Ace formation, under 9 minutes remaining.
Yeah, this is their power football formation, 12 personnel.
Davis breaks the tackle, gets inside the 20, falls forward near the first down marker. Tough run by Davis.
That's a good tough run there. See, you got the double, you got two tight ends, just broke a tackle, tough run, finished it off at the end.
A Southwestern player down on the field right now.
Yeah, Mesa runs a lot of different sets, but they don't run a lot of different things from each set. So depending on what they're in, if they're in that tight end trips, they're probably going to run to the trip side. When they have 2 tight ends, 12 personnel, they're going to run at either tight end.
That first down run brings up a 2nd and 1 for the Olympians. And Southwestern going to call a timeout.
Yeah, I think they're trying to regroup. Remember, they're down numbers. Another guy went down. They might need to figure out who's playing what at this point.
So looking forward to Palomar and Grossmont. Those are winnable games for Southwestern.
Grossmont, definitely. They're similar in talent right now. Palomar, The problem with Palomar, I think Palomar is going to try to control the clock and wear them down. They are physical and they're methodical on offense. The key with Southwestern is, can they stop the big play, and can they sustain drives and not turn the ball over? Which is true at every level, with every team, but especially a struggling team. Is you got it. Sometimes it's not how many great plays you make; it's who makes the least amount of mistakes. And a lot of their issues this year have been self-inflicted.
Right. Second and 1 at the Southwestern 16. Coming out in that double tight end set. Danny Davis, the single back. Davis off the right side is brought down in the backfield.
Good penetration there. Yeah, you see that? He just beat the
Across his face.
Yeah, across his face, beat him to the spot. Made a good defensive play. So we need to see more of that.
Tackle for loss, bringing up a 3rd and 4, coming up on the 8-minute mark here in the third quarter. Tavian Tate back onto the field, single back for the Olympians. Pressure off the edge. Southwestern bringing extra bodies. And the ball's loose.
Nice play.
Turnover Southwestern.
Nice play.
Big defensive stop right there from the Jaguars.
Excellent pass rush. Just
Great
took the ball
coverage
from
in the
him.
secondary.
There you go. Gotta keep that momentum. Keep it going.
95 Quito Fierro. Or no, Nate Rocio.
I like to see a shot play to number 1 here.
Now that you have the momentum right now,
Yeah, the first play.
another big haymaker. Stamps the single back. He'll go in motion. He'll be the lead blocker. Gets in the hands of his receivers quickly.
Good positive play there, first down. So that's what they need to do. Get ahead of the sticks. Get the ball out quick. Get it on the edge. Let your athletes do what they do. Modest game, but it's a positive play. 2nd and 6 is very manageable.
2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Robinson at the bottom of your screen, outside receiver. Young at the top of your screen, outside receiver. Moschek is going to tuck and run.
Got a crease.
Has some blocking. Gets into Olympians territory. And we're seeing Moschek use his legs more tonight than ever before at this point in the season.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's what we talked about earlier. They're mixing it up now, and they're keeping Mesa off balance, so Mesa can't just get off on them. Did we have a late flag that we
Late
didn't see?
flag on the far side of the field.
Oh yeah, missed that one. I didn't see that. That's a weird play to get a holding call on the edge.
Yeah, Jovan Young got called with the hold. And that was, that was a designed run right there.
Yeah, absolutely. That was quarterback draw all the way.
Positive play nullified by the holding call, pushes Southwestern back to a 2nd and 17. Paultine Stamps remains a single back, single side receiver at the bottom of the screen, far side of the field. 1-on-1 coverage. See if Southwestern can take advantage of it. We've seen a
lot of field to work with down here. Screen. That's a good defensive play there.
That play was well read by number 5, Christian Aguilar, product out of Eastlake. He's had a couple big plays on the defensive side.
Yeah, the timing wasn't very good on that. Decent play call. It just the execution was poor. they're trying, you know, second and long, they were trying to cut it in half to make this third down more manageable.
Clock stopped at 6:38. Palomar currently losing to Mount San Jacinto 20-7. Woschek
Oh no!
is brought down in the backfield.
So it's history repeating itself. When you go empty, what's Mesa gonna do? Bring pressure till
Off the edge.
and you got to get the ball out quick. It's not gonna work.
We have a late flag on the field. We've seen a couple personal foul calls on the Olympians after making a big stop. Personal foul call. We don't know where exactly it happened on the field. It wasn't a personal foul roughing the passer call, but it was a personal foul call. It might have been a dead ball foul.
Yeah, what's going on here? They haven't marked anything off. Okay.
Yeah, so a dead ball foul, personal foul, and that would give Southwestern a first down.
All right, they got to build off of that.
Back at the original line of scrimmage after that big sack. But a fresh set of downs for Southwestern, so Woschek has to understand now. If they bring the pressure, he has to get rid of the ball quickly. He's not
Has to
gonna
get
have
it out. And the OC has to help him out by calling routes that happen faster.
Olympians bring 6. Oh no, they drop back. Woschek rolls right and takes a big hit at the line of scrimmage. So good job by the defense, right? Showing 6, but then dropping 2.
Right. So it's just human nature. They have the quarterback he's sped up a little bit right
He has
now.
a clock in his head right
Yeah,
now.
and he feels that pressure come in, and he's like, okay, I got to get out of here. And then, but they can help him out by sliding the protection and getting him on the move, and running route combinations that are more conducive to getting the ball out quickly.
Empty set, 2nd and 9. 5:20 and counting here in the third. Woschek looks left and underthrows his intended receiver.
Yeah, so again, I would like to see some in-breaking routes as opposed to having a quarterback throw to the wide side of the field, a long throw with pressure coming in his face.
After taking a big hit.
Yeah, the ball's coming out fast, but the ball's on the right hash, and he's trying to throw all the way across the field. That's a long throw under those circumstances.
Incomplete pass brings up a 3rd and 9 with 5:13 remaining in the third. It was 35-0 at the half. Southwestern had a touchdown and a 2-point conversion on their last offensive possession.
Okay, 3rd and 8. 3rd and 8.5, 9. What do you do here, Bo?
Well, it looks like Olympians are showing 5 at the line. They bring 6 off the edge. Woschek, and miscommunication between him and his receiver, Savion Robinson, as he goes down.
Yeah,
Flag in the backfield.
Might have roughing the pass. It's either holding or roughing the passer. Not sure which one.
Woschek took a lick. He has his hands on his knees right now. Woschek is about as tough as they come.
Yeah, he's going to need that ice bath tomorrow. There you go.
So the Olympians defense gives Southwestern offense another gift.
Yeah, and so it's true to form is what I talked about. Mesa's problem they've been having as of late. So Southwestern needs to improve and capitalize on these situations. And I'm telling you right now, Coach Watkins is not a happy camper because this is what he specifically told his team to guard against in the second half.
Carlton snaps. The single back to the right hip pocket of Woshek. 3 receivers on the wide side of the field. Woshek will tuck and run. And Woshek, tough run. Crosses the 50 into Olympians territory.
Yeah, he's a tough kid. There's not a lot of room there. He got a good block by 77. Give him the and he just ran through a tackler. Yeah, they're going to talk to number 5 about that in film. Hey, man, that's still a quarterback running through you. That can't happen.
Even though it's a tough running quarterback, it's still a quarterback.
It's still a quarterback, and I'd like to see Southwestern attack this corner down here who's playing press coverage and on an island by himself. So again, finally, there we go.
Nice pitch and catch. Gets the ball inside the 35. First down, Southwestern.
So I think we're in the headsets this time, Bo. Got press coverage. Quick in-breaking route, get the ball out quick, cross the face, get a good positive play.
Savion Robinson with a big pitch and catch. It's brought down at the 30. And under 4 minutes remaining here in the third. Southwestern driving. Woshek.
Go.
Right to the end zone. And that ball is broken up at the last minute, slightly underthrown by Woshek.
Yeah, it was still a pretty good throw. He should have brought it in. He tried to double catch it. He didn't catch it cleanly, and when it bounced, DB had good technique, knocked it out, knocked it away.
Still got on the other side of the corner, though.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. But so this is what, in my opinion, what Southwestern should do. They should put the trips away from number 1.
Right.
Make number 1 have the single coverage.
Right.
And or make Mesa adjust their coverage and give that corner some help. If number 1, see how they just changed up already?
Right. They're bracketing.
They're going to bracket number 1 now, but now that gives you opening in other places.
Now they're playing man-to-man on the top of the screen. Woshek looks for the screen.
Right. But now they're saying, hey, okay, we're not going to
give you that anymore.
We're not going to give you number 1, but the way they're adjusting to it is they're bringing another defender over to help bracket him, which is giving you more space elsewhere.
Right.
So now Coach Goodwin needs to adjust to that and attack in those other spaces. Every time number 1 gets a one-on-one matchup, you got to challenge him.
And I say Jovan Young in open space has been just as good as Robinson has this season. So it's either one or the other.
Yeah, but by bringing the focus to number 1, it makes it easier on the other receivers.
Yeah.
Exactly. Can't double everybody.
No.
And now, if they do that, it gives more space for the quarterback if he wants to tuck it away and run.
3rd and 10. Woshek rolls right, looks downfield. Gets away from 1 tackler. Gets away from 2, but cannot get away from 3 and 4 as he's brought down in the backfield.
Yeah, that was a disaster. But I was actually impressed that he felt that pressure. Because when the play first started, it looked like he was going to get obliterated, and he actually felt it and spun off it. Some quarterbacks don't feel that until they feel it, literally. So he has good pocket awareness, good decision making, but they need to build around him. So you got trips into the boundary. You got a lot of field out here to work with.
One-on-one at the bottom of the screen. Woshek over the top to his receiver. And that ball falls incomplete. But that's exactly what we're looking for, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But a little bit underthrown. But you got a lot of,
A late flag.
Yeah, I think it's the young man arguing with the official trying to get a call. I like throwing to that receiver. However, that's a really long throw.
Yeah.
You got a lot of room to work with.
Low percentage throw.
Widen your receiver out a little bit, and let's try another in-breaking run.
Personal foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 5. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Yeah, that young man needs to know the big picture. Can't be arguing with the officials, and you're trying to get to the next level. Everybody sees that.
Yeah, that stands out. So the 4th down stop and the unsportsmanlike conduct will bring the ball to the Olympians' 47.
I do like the fight in Southwestern this half, though. Their players are trying. They're still winning the half.
Play fake.
Too far off.
Once again, a lot of cushion from that secondary of Southwestern, and an easy pitch and catch from Odom.
Yeah, so Southwestern's in their traditional set on defense, but the safety's playing so far off the slot receiver that it's a given 6, 7, 8 yard gain if you just turn and throw the ball out there. Granted, they're guarding against the big play, but that's too easy.
Well, right there, even the corner that was guarding him actually came in on the blitz because I don't know if he was reading the run or if his job was to blitz. But.
Yes, and sometimes, yes, they do roll the coverage and they send the corner, but the way they're playing it, they're just giving too much room. It's similar here, but they have trips, so they probably won't just chuck it out there unless they're doing a screen.
Play fake. Odom under pressure, and he just gets rid of it.
It's good pressure by the defense.
The front of the Southwestern doing a much better job getting pressure on Odom.
Yeah, they're getting off the ball a lot faster, and they're still playing hard, and they're getting after it, which is getting him off his spot and making him have to make a decision sooner. And truth be told, that's a good decision by the quarterback just to get rid of it. Live to fight another play.
You hear the coaching staff from Mesa right now not happy up 34.
Yeah, absolutely, because but that's the right mentality. They're saying we're going on to bigger and better things. Let's stay focused.
Take the single back to the left hip pocket of Odom. 2nd and 10, 2:09 remaining in the 3rd. Southwestern bringing the pressure off the edge, and a false start. Flag at the top of the screen.
Yeah, I can tell you from experience, the most difficult time to coach is when you're way ahead or when you're way behind. Because guys lose. When you're way ahead, guys relax. When you're way behind, guys hang their heads. So it's more. It's not even a relaxing. It's a giving up.
Is it a different way of coaching when you're way ahead or way behind?
Yeah, it's more about focus.
Okay.
Because when you get in those crucial situations, then they'll have better focus. So you got to teach guys to be able to focus when they really, really don't want to. Because it's easy to stay in the game when the game's still up, still yet to be determined. But if you're going to be a championship caliber player or get the most out of your ability, you need to learn that basically it's like taking a test. All the questions when you go into the test have the same value. But throughout the test, there's some secret bonus questions. And you don't know which ones those are. So if you do well on everything but miss all the bonus questions, you don't have a really good grade at the end. So that's how you have to approach football is you got to play each play the same. Whether
3rd and 8. Odom looks far side, has his receiver inside the 30. And another strike for Odom and a 1st down Olympians.
Yeah, that's a good throw, but at this point I would remember we're trying to win the half. I would like Southwestern to challenge Mesa's receivers a little bit more.
3 receivers to the far side of the field. Odom has some space. He tucks and runs, gets inside the 20. Now inside the 10, and is brought down near the 5.
Yeah, because, again, I know it sounds repetitive, people, but like we mentioned in the first half, when Southwestern plays their conventional defense and lays back, it opens up the passing lane, but more importantly, opens up this quarterback sees the running lanes and he just takes off. You gotta be aggressive against Mesa when this quarterback is in the game.
Yeah, because he's shown the ability not only to beat you with his arm, but with his legs as well.
And he's running for 30 and 40 and 50-yard runs with his legs.
Chunk plays. First and goal at the Southwestern 7. Play fake from Odom. He rolls right, has his receiver in the end zone, and finds him for the score.
So, like we mentioned earlier, when they have wings, tight ends and H-backs, they look to utilize those guys and throw to them.
Mekhi Elliott with the receiving touchdown.
I'm a little surprised that Southwestern wasn't ready for this because I know they've seen this play on film. This exact play. Good execution by the offense, though.
Well, and that was the situation you mentioned when it was first and goal for Southwestern. A great time to run that play action.
Absolutely.
The kick is up and good. And that was a simple boot. I mean, there wasn't much complexity to it. It was
No, and all he did is throw to the wing and snuck across and leaked out to the back.
But that was a situation also where the quarterback used his legs, so now the defense has in mind, we need to stop the run now after that big play.
Yeah, true, but that close to the end zone, you need to keep him. Everything's compacted. You can't let him get out on the edge.
Yeah.
Because now he has the choice to just tuck it away and run for the pylon, or throw with the flood concept to any different levels of receivers. So that's a basic. That play is Mesa. Like, I'm sure Southwestern has seen that every time they played them, in every game, every film they've looked at. So I'm just surprised they weren't a little better prepared for that in that situation.
Mekhi Elliott receiving touchdown. Odom now with 6 passing touchdowns on the night. I'd assume that's a career night because on the season he had 7.
Wow.
So he's almost matched his season total just here tonight against Southwestern. And you love to do it. I mean, Odom's seen a lot of these guys before. He's played against a lot of these guys at the high school level here.
Yeah, absolutely. But even with that is a lot of these guys know each other. So, it should be some competitiveness regardless of the score. And again, I mentioned it earlier, if you're playing junior college football, I would hope that you're trying to get to the next level. And you need to show that, like, a guy who's a real football player who has some fight, when it's not going good for your team, if you're still playing at the same level, you actually stand out more because you're actually going to be moving faster than everybody, and scouts and coaches are going to see that. You want guys who have some fight in them, who are not just going to give up. Every play matters, or at least it should.
Yeah, because at this point, limited opportunities, right? You got to make the best of what you're given.
Yeah, especially if you're a guy who can be one and done, or if you're a sophomore, you have 2.5 more games to earn yourself a trip to the next level. You got to make the most of it. You can't be moping and putting your head down. You got to keep battling.
And the start of the fourth quarter, Southwestern will start with the ball at their own 29-yard line.
They are down a lineman. Yeah, I knew I only counted 10 out there.
Looks like Giovanni Barrios in the backfield. Single back. Receiver in motion. Looks like the tight end, actually, CJ Nunez. They're going to run the ball up the middle. And Barrios gets driven backwards.
Oof. Yeah, they just blew that play up. Good field by all the backers there. But again, we talked about it. Mesa is strong to the left side of their defense. They haven't found much success at all running right at them to the Southwestern right, Mesa left. So maybe they're setting something up here.
Jovan Young. Single side receiver at the bottom of your screen. One-on-one, no safety over the top. Young is now in motion. Wolszczak up the sideline, hits his receiver, gets by the corner. Does he have the speed to get by him? No, he doesn't, but a big play for Southwestern offense.
Yeah, see, that's good play calling there. Motioned him from the side, stopped him in the slot, and just put him on the wheel. Yeah, you have to. Mesa's fundamentally sound, but you got to get him moving. Running right at him it hasn't been working, so let's change it up a little bit. That's a very good play call there.
Jovan Young with his biggest reception of the night. Gets them in Olympian territory.
I like them to speed up the pace a little bit here too. Oh.
Wolszczak had a tough snap to bring in, but makes something out of nothing.
Yeah, that messed. The timing was off from the way the snap. Yeah, so that was a design play, but the guard kind of pulled. The pull was kind of slow, and the snap was high, and just the timing was messed up.
Still a positive play for Southwestern.
Yeah, absolutely.
A minimal game, but I mean, at this point in the season, positive plays on the offensive side, playing in front of the sticks rather than behind has been a big issue for Southwestern.
Yeah, and as long as you're going in the right direction, again, like we mentioned earlier, 2nd and 6 is manageable.
3 receivers to the far side of the field.
There we go.
Wolszczak hands it off to Barrios. Barrios gets near the 30 on the stretch play.
Yeah, so again, see, we're in the playbook now. They're listening to us, Bo. Run to the left. You get 4-yard gain. Now you got 3rd and a long 2.
And now we're starting to set ourselves up for a bootleg roll right.
Yeah, absolutely. You have a lot of field to the right side. You can spread them out, run your quarterback, or you can get him on the move and give him the option to keep it or throw it.
Jovan Young at the bottom of your screen. Corner is up in his grill. Free play if they get rid of it.
Yep.
One-on-one coverage and doinks off the chest of the intended receiver.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Still looks like a first down for Southwestern. We'll check in with the call. Receiver has to understand, right? There's pressure coming. You got to whip that head around quickly.
Yeah, typically you teach your quarterback the guy where the pressure is coming from is usually the one that's open unless they're running some type of trap coverage. But he showed it so quickly and the safety was so far off that there was no threat of somebody picking that off. So the receiver has to make the adjustment. See, here's a little different. See how close? So he's coming again, but they're playing closer.
Barrios off the left side. Gets inside the 25 and a late flag is thrown by the line judge. Been a much better second half for Southwestern.
Yeah, absolutely. They're playing hard and they're mixing it up and they're trying to win the half, which is exactly what they should be doing. I didn't see what I thought I saw.
Flag is waved off. Short gain will bring up a 2nd and 8 from the 2-yard run of Barrios. He remains in the game as a single back. Looks like Olympians again playing man-to-man across the board. This is a simple cover 1 right here. Barrios in motion.
Switch to 0.
Yeah, and he threw it right into Didn't see the safety over the top, and the safety made a great play on the ball.
Yeah, he just didn't read the coverage, and it was a poorly thrown ball, and it was just a good play by the defense.
Interception brought in by Captain Eric Gant, sophomore out of Poway. Yeah, and he had a guy over the middle.
Yeah, indeed. Sometimes he didn't read that the safety was vacating,
Yeah,
which opened the middle of the field up for
he
him.
realized that that wheel route was open 2 plays or 3 plays before that and thought he could go right back to the wheelhouse.
Absolutely, which is why we talked about you got to play each play because the nuances are subtle.
Right.
And as soon as that safety vacated, that told him that it's not the sideline we're going to throw to. We're going to throw anywhere to the middle of the field to the right. But that's part of the process for a young quarterback who's had a bunch of people flying in his face all season.
Once again, Southwestern strong against the run here today when it hasn't been from the legs of Odom.
Yeah, defensive line has played well. Cross his face. That's a good play. That's what you want to see by an interior D lineman.
Right there as well.
Beat the double team, cross the face, scrape, made the play. Good job by 57.
Quito Fierro out of Otay Ranch going both ways here today.
Yeah, so they have Quito playing what we call zero technique. He's head up on the center, but a lot of times, sometimes he's slanting. This play that got blown dead, he was slanting to the A gap to the left.
And is he sliding one way or the other because does he always slide to the strong side? Or
No, it depends. I don't know what they're calling, what their scheme is. Sometimes you two gap if you have a guy that can do it. He plays both A's.
Right.
Sometimes you slant him. If you have a running quarterback, you might slant him where the quarterback might pull it. You might slant it. It depends where the best lineman is. It just kind of depends.
Like in this situation, if he hands it off to the running back most likely is going to cross the face of the quarterback.
Right.
Run left.
And he's going to go to the left. But now they switched it. So they don't slant on every play, but I did notice that previous play he was going to slant. Oh.
And Odom barely got rid of it. The pressure was coming on him, and Southwestern rallied to the ball right there.
Yeah, I truly believe Southwestern is a lot better when defense in general when you move, because it gets the offense out of rhythm and keeps them off balance.
It speeds up the offense.
Yeah, and all offenses in every sport has a rhythm,
right,
and a flow and timing of their run plays and their pass plays. And when you can just, especially at the college level, when you can just mess up the timing a little bit, it really helps you out. But
we do have a flag in the end zone, and if it's a holding call, that's a safety.
Yeah, they look to be discussing it. However, again, like I mentioned previously, Southwestern for several years now has been a traditional quarters defense, and
keep everything in front of you and ride to the ball.
Yeah, safeties read you 2-1, and D-line, they're real D-line, contingent upon the D-line playing strong up front and controlling their gaps. So it's not the most versatile defense. It's effective. It's schematically, it's sound. But me personally, I always run an odd defense because it gives me an extra person, and I can kind of mess with the offense, so to speak, as opposed to just.
You're playing the numbers.
Yeah. You can always put the extra guy. You can stay even across the board, but you can do something to the offense where you're attacking the offense as opposed to always reacting to what the offense does.
Let's see what the call is. If it is a holding call, and if it happened in the end zone, that would be a safety for Southwestern. Their first safety at home all season, if that is the case. They're talking to the Southwestern coaching staff right now. So the holding must have happened outside of the end zone.
Yeah, which would have been half the distance, and you're like, we'd rather take the down than the play. So you got them backed up, 3rd and long.
3rd and long. We've been here before, Scott. We've seen them drop in coverage.
Yes, absolutely.
Backs against the wall for the offense. If we're not bringing the pressure, I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, they better spy the quarterback. I wouldn't put it past Mesa to run a screen here. They have a good screenplay, and they have a good back out wheel play that they like to run.
3 receivers to the far side of the field for Odom. 6 passing touchdowns on the night, and a delay game will knock him back 1 yard from the 2 to the 1.
Number 3 of the offense, happening to the goal. Third down.
Yeah, the way he runs, they might just quarterback draw.
Oh, actually, they said 3, so that's Richie Colmanero,
Oh, it is Richie in, yes.
the product out of St. Augustine.
So I would expect a draw, a screen, or something simple. Just get the ball out. There you go.
Colmanero, pitch and catch to the first down marker, but a nice open field tackle by Southwestern.
Yeah, and then with the new quarterback in, backed up in your own end zone, you want to throw a real good safe throw, play the percentages, get off the field, punt the ball, let your defense play. Good job by Southwestern, though, getting off the field. So do you go after it, or do you set up a return? That is the question.
Savion Robinson with the ball in his hands. I'm setting up a return right here, and unfortunately, bringing the pressure, you're leaving yourself more susceptible to running into the kicker, and more often than not,
True.
Southwestern
True.
has, when given that opportunity, they have not lived up to the play call.
Well, the way they're lining up, they're going for they're going for it, and then they didn't really go for it.
Robinson brings it in at midfield. No blockers. He's going to have to do it all.
Yeah, if I'm Mesa, I'm happy with that result.
Yeah.
Kicking from there to get the ball all the way out to the 45.
See it? I'm Southwestern right there. Robinson with the ball in his hands is so electric. Just give him 2 blocks, and he could do a lot. He was 1-on-4, 1-on-5 right there.
Yeah, I'd say, see, that's the in-between things we were talking about. Either go for it, send everybody and try to block it, or set up the return, and they kind of didn't either. They only sent a couple people, and they didn't hold them up well enough.
Jaguars going to come out with the empty set. 8:23 remaining in regulation. Offsides.
Free
This
play.
Gonna be a free play. Oh, why not just throw it over the top?
Take the shot.
Come on, guy, you go stop.
Yeah, throw the deep ball. Worst case scenario,
Well,
take the 5. But
fatigue has definitely set in right now for Wojciech. Fourth quarter, he's taking a lot of hits. This is probably the most rush attempts he's had all season.
yeah, true.
So this is really when you get to see what this freshman is made of right here. Southwestern was down 35-0 at the half. This second half has been a much better contest for the Jaguars. Trying to get Wojciech outside the pocket.
It's a good throw there.
And a nice grab near the 30.
See, as we mentioned, get him on the move, slide the protection, let him read the defense, and make a good set his feet, make a good solid throw. It's good offense there.
Yeah, it was a good combo route on the outside. They ran that wheel route, that comeback route on that hook. And nice pitch and catch.
So wide field, number 1 is down here with a lot of room to work with. I would actually widen him out a little bit more, but we'll see what they're
Maybe
doing
he's
here.
inside because he's going to run that fade route. And he does over the top to the end zone. Robinson. Yeah, sometimes that's a giveaway when the receiver is lined up too far on the inside or too far on the outside.
Yeah, and as we just talked about earlier, when he's too tight and he's trying to run the fade, the angle's kind of actually harder to throw to pinpoint where to throw it. So if he widens out, at least you can put the ball on the front hand, and he has the option to run an inside route, and that safety can't help.
Right.
And if he's going to bracket, he has to move out more, which gives you more room for all your other receivers to operate.
It's now Jovan Young at the bottom of the screen. The corners from Mesa's Right up on the line. Wojciech looks for the screen.
Well set up.
Has some blockers in front.
Oh.
But the Olympians do a great job in rallying to the ball.
Yeah, this was set up well, but 77, the one guy that can make the play, you got to block the first color you see.
Just didn't get out there.
He didn't get out there. He didn't see him till it was too late, and that guy crossed his face and made the tackle. If we make that block, you got something going there.
Lyman getting out there. Number 77, Muhammad Hassan. We talked about him, the 42-year-old. Man, a lot of 42-year-olds just wish they could still walk.
And with 42-year-old legs and at his size, there's 6 minutes left in the game. I'm not going to be too hard on him for not getting there.
One-on-one coverage over the top to Young in the end zone. And once again, that ball just slightly underthrown.
Yeah, however, like we talked about the last play, because he was a little bit wider, the angle for the throw, it allowed the quarterback at least to get it out in front. So that's why he had a higher percentage chance of making that connection.
He definitely gave Young the opportunity to make a play right there.
Right, and that's all you want in that situation. Yeah, I tell guys all the time, like I ask them, hey, what subjects do you like in school? And they're like, oh, I hate math, and I don't like physics. And I like, you do know that football is all geometry and physics, right? It's all about those angles, buddy, and leverage. And they go, huh? Okay, straight zero coverage.
Did we call a timeout before the delayed game is the question.
Sure hope so on 4th and 8 versus 4th and 13 is a completely different call.
And it looks like they're going to give Southwestern a timeout. What's the score of that Palomar game right now? Southwestern will head on the road for their last 2 games against Grossmont and Palomar. 6:18 remaining in this ball game. You're saying it looked like Grossmont forfeited?
Yeah, because the scoreboard says 1-0 for Fullerton. And it says forfeit. I haven't read anything or I haven't talked to anybody.
Well, from what I saw this season, Fullerton and Riverside coming into town, playing against Southwestern, those were the 2 best teams that I've seen up until this point.
Got 6:17 left, Mount San Jack 30, Palomar 14. And see, Mount San Jacinto's coming up in Division 2. So that's all.
Wow, so did they get a delay game out of the timeout?
So they did? They did give them a delay game.
But they also gave him a timeout. Unless you're right.
They must have called the timeout after.
Wojciech rolls right. Throws it across the field into double coverage.
Oh.
And that ball falls incomplete. There is a flag in the backfield in the area of holding.
I'm curious there. What are they saying? He didn't complete the process? Because it looked like he caught the ball and was down and then they popped it out. Yeah, it was holding.
So you'd love to see the fight here in the second half from Southwestern, something we haven't seen the past few games, but once again, just too slow of a start out the gates.
Yeah, absolutely. They just dug too big of a hole to get back out of. But again, it's 14-8 this half, so they got to keep fighting and still try to win this half. Get a stop, get a score.
When you know you start slow, do you practice differently?
I think it's a mentality that just over time it just kind of wears on you, and you just get in this mental rut where you just kind of feel despair.
Yeah.
And it's like you get negative self-talk, and that makes you start out slow. each time it happens is more likely to happen. Just like winning, learning how to win is a process as well. Like teams aren't just made winners; they have to develop as winners. I always tell people, talent doesn't equal success in a championship. There's been a lot of successful talented teams that lost in the first round of playoffs, or just didn't make the playoffs. And then there's been some teams that have overachieved. They might have not won a title, but they got the most out of their ability.
Yeah.
But that's why football is the ultimate team sport. Everybody has to do their part.
Run off the right side. And once again, that defense of Southwestern rallying to the ball.
Yeah, they're pretty stout against the run still.
Great push.
Yeah, he got a good push on the edge. When you reset the line of scrimmage, you become a humongous body because the other person covers up the second gap for you, and you can just come off and make a play. And it either turns the ball up a gap sooner or flattens it out, and it lets everybody rally to the ball.
Have you seen Grossmont much this season?
No, I only watched them. I watched them a little bit once when they played Palomar. The defense doesn't give much resistance.
Locally, high school football. We're now heading into the playoffs. Exciting time for high school football.
Yeah, this is what you it's not where you start, it's where you end up, and this is what everybody's looking for. You work hard to get that first round bye if you're fortunate enough to do so, and then you can just sit back and relax and watch everybody fight it out and get prepared. But some of us have been fortunate, like we literally expect to be in the championship game. Yeah. Like I tell the guys I coach, hey.
And you're to let the folks back at home know, Mount Miguel, you're the linebackers coach.
Yeah, I coach the linebackers. I have the return men, and really enjoy myself. This is the first time in 15 years I'm not actually calling every play of the defense, so I actually get to coach.
Yeah. Quick hit on the far side. Olympians get up to the 40.
Yeah, and it allows me to go to each player a little bit more. When you have to call the plays, you have to stay in the moment.
Yeah.
And you're focused on the play. So sometimes the coordinator sometimes doesn't see the big picture because they have to stay focused on the next play. Whereas that's why you need the eye in the sky to kind of tell you what's going on or who's not lining up right or who's not playing the right technique. So it always perplexes me the OCs and DCs that don't wear headsets, because everybody's great once you see the film. Like I used to think, wow, if I could have myself up in the booth and be down on the field, I'd call a perfect game. So, but again, the ones that don't have somebody telling them what they see is confusing to me, because when you're down on the field, your depth perception is not the same, especially being on the side. Like I would prefer to call offense or defense sitting in the end zone because I can see everything.
Right. Mount Miguel, what are we, 8-1, 8-2, 9-1?
9-1, having a really, really good season. We took over a program that hadn't had a winning season in over a decade. Won our first league title. Played the first half of the season with the players from last season plus 2 freshmen starting. We had a lot of players, key players who were on sit-out period. So, and now we're getting healthy. We've got 2 of our starting old linemen back this past game. We'll get the 3rd back going into the playoffs. So we're going into the playoff full strength.
How nice is it to see the progress from a smaller program that just didn't achieve a lot in previous years?
Oh, it's awesome for the community and for the school and the community as a whole, because when their football program is successful at the high school level, it elevates the whole environment of the school.
Right.
And you actually have less problems at school, because the football players usually have some influence over the the student body. So from the beginning, the administration has been really supportive. One of the APs, actually, we went to school together here and at Baker University, and he's an athletic guy, and you know, they know when to step in, but they also know how to stay out of the way and let you do your thing, and that's kind of the problem with some of the schools in the area, is that the success of the athletic programs aren't really a priority. It's almost like, as long as we're not having any issues and, you know, nobody's being disruptive, then it's okay. Whereas the ones who really want to have success, if you bring in the right coaches and you stay out of the way, then you usually have success. And in today's football, at every level, if you do it the right way, it's not that difficult to turn a program around immediately. And that's kind of what we done, but that's what we expected. I mean, we have a really, if somebody was to ask me, I would say us in Carlsbad High School from top to bottom have the best staff, from top to bottom. Right. That is. I mean, there's some really good coaches out there. There's some really good OCs and DCs, O-line coach, D-line coaches. But as far as when you go top to bottom, I would really put us right there. I mean,
it's amazing bringing together that coaching staff in less than a year, really just one off season. Yeah. I've never seen that at the high school level. And Wojciech is chucking the ball around right now.
Yeah, that was a bad decision there. Yeah, so like us in particular, I'm coming back from college, from being a college DC and coaching 2 positions in college. You know, you got Coach Jones, who came over from Mater Dei, and then you got Coach TJ McKay. You know, we're 3 coordinators on the same side of the defense.
All guys that have played at the next level.
Yeah, and then we have, you know, our D-line coach is awesome. We have, and then Chris Olave's brothers, the cornerbacks coach, and Terrence Long's on the staff. Like, our defensive side of the ball is like guys that can coach anywhere.
Right.
And be a coordinator or a head coach at all these schools.
Right.
And then Verlaine's, Batofe is known for putting up a lot of points, and the staff that he has around him is guys that he always worked with, so they know each other. And the biggest thing for us is we don't have an ego problem.
I was gonna say, those are a lot of alpha males in one room. Like, how does that work out?
It works out well. Let's see this one. Come on, cover. Oh, that's a good open field tackle. So what I've found is when you have a lot of alphas together, you usually don't have friction because alphas aren't intimidated by other alphas. The problem is when you have somebody at the top who feels intimidated around alphas, that they start feeling insecure.
And they need to make a move.
Because they need to make a move. Because when you have a bunch of alphas around, alphas become a pack of alphas. And everybody feeds off of each other and supports each other because you're not intimidated by each other. And that energy transfers to the kids, and everybody's more...
You're comfortable in your own skin. You understand
Absolutely.
What you know about the game. And
Absolutely.
you know that the other alphas are going to help you in that moment.
Absolutely. And even if they say, man, we need to do this, you're probably going to listen to them. Whereas at every level, college included, sometimes you get guys at the top who, when the other guys start coming out of their shell and getting support and doing well, it makes them feel insecure because instead of upping their game, they feel self-conscious, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. The Mesa sideline just got really hyped right now. I'm assuming it's probably because the receiver who caught that ball is his first grab of the season. I mean, that's what's great about being on the winning side of these things for a junior college. You're getting guys in that I haven't seen a lot of playing time.
Yeah, you can see all 5 skill position players are new players.
Nice run up the middle. Gets inside the 35.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty good run.
Now at the 2:30 mark. That was number 12. Jonathan Littlejohn. He's a wide receiver out of Orange Glen, now coming up on the 2-minute mark. So Southwestern can take this second half and use it as some momentum heading into the next few games.
Yeah, and absolutely, that's exactly what they need to do. Like you need to. It's junior college. You're supposed to keep improving. You're supposed to build. That's the whole point of junior college is to keep improving. So wherever you start from is where you start from, but you got to keep elevating your game.
Little John on the run. And I mean, I wouldn't even mind to see them coming out of that. I know it's so rare you see that double wing formation at the college level, but it was productive for moments.
If they're going to do it, so be it, but they need to do the complete playbook of doing that. It can't just be toss right, toss left, dive, quarterback tush push or anything like that. It needs to, if you're going to do that, run the whole playbook and put an X receiver out there and throw the ball out to him sometimes and run some down pass and some counters and some reverses off.
It definitely opens up the playbook, though.
Yeah, if it gives them the option to do so, but it can't. If you're going to run that and it's limited in the college, you're
DCs and defensive players are going to.
Yeah, they're going to get off on you, and it's too repetitive for your players too.
Yeah,
that's a physical style of game, and you got guys going both ways. It's
a long game.
That's a lot of hits on the body.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Mesa's going to pull out the win here today. They're going to improve to 5-3, and Southwestern with coming up on 30 seconds is still looking for their first win, 0-8 on the season.
Well, at least they had a little fight in the second half. Yeah. I'm glad to see that.
Scott, it was a pleasure, man. Thanks. Today's broadcast went by much more smooth and much more faster. It didn't feel like a full 3 hours of me just talking to myself. I'm sure the fans back at home enjoyed it a lot more.
It's just two buddies getting together, watching the game, and talking about what they see.
That's going to end tonight's contest. Mesa with the win here tonight, and our player of the game, quarterback James Odom, threw some exceptional balls, 6 passing touchdowns on the night. What did you see from the quarterback?
I saw him have a perfect passer rating. That's what I saw. if fantasy league, I'd be mad if I didn't have him. Good sportsmanship here at the end.
Right. In the end, a lot of these guys have played against each other throughout the years, just because of San Diego local players. And that will do it for tonight's game. Southwestern will end their last 2 games on the road, so this is the last home game for Southwestern. And thanks for tuning in to the Cali Photo Sports Network, and thank you to our photog, Tim Gahn, who is in the most precarious position to film this game, but you did a great job, Timothy. And that will end tonight's contest from our partner, Scott Catlin. I'm Bo Furtick. Good night, everyone.
Have a good night.